What's happening? What's happening with it? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. What's happening with it? Big Country Omega Red in the building. Mike Rhyme in the building. Cedric Smith. Cono Loco. What's happening with it? AJ64 in the building. Dank Father. Lil Flex Lewis. Trayshawn Edwards, what's happening with it? DP Rocker. Yeah. Yes, sir. Y'all already know we finna cook today. And as you come in the building, smash on the like button. Smash on that like. Might see what it do. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got me like, wow, wow, wow. Like the singing OG. Yeah. A lot going on in boxing, man. A lot went on this weekend. A lot to talk about. You know what I'm saying? A lot to talk about that went on this weekend. And we're going to cook on it. We're gonna talk about all of it. But like I said, hit the like button as you come in the building. Please, sir. Roderick Thompson, what's happening with it? What it do? Yeah, so we got a lot that went on. You know what I'm saying? We had some cats that was exposed this weekend, you know, lifted their skirts up and they was exposed. So we got a whole lot to cook on this weekend for sure. And then this upcoming weekend, we got a big ass fight this weekend. We got Joe Smith versus Arthur Bitterby. So that shit finna be fine. That's going to be a hell of a fight right there. But man, we had the Boxing Hall of Fame go down. I still got to watch the rest of the Boxing Hall of Fame. I still didn't see. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I ain't get to check out nobody's speech except for Floyd Mayweather's speech. I seen Floyd Mayweather do his thing. You know what I'm saying? He was styling on him. Like always, even though I ain't a big Floyd Mayweather fan outside of the ring, I was a huge Floyd Mayweather fan inside of the ring. So we're gonna cook on that too a little bit. But like I said, as you come in the building, smash on the like button. So we got a lot of things to talk about today. A lot. Fucking Berlanga, man. Dude, Berlanga's a character. Berlanga is a character, man. I heard so like KC was just talking about, you know what I'm saying? I was over there listening to KQ. What's happening with it? Dwayne Freeman in the building, James in the building. So and Dwayne, man, I need to holler at you too about some shit behind the scenes. But yeah. So KC, I was chopping it up with listening to KQ, and he brought it to my attention about Anthony Joshua, who just signed a deal, right? A brand new deal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read y'all the article. That way we could go over this, right? We could cook about this while everybody's still coming in the building. And like I said, y'all hit the like button and salute to James Blackwell. So I'm gonna read y'all this article, right? D Nice, what's happening with it? I see you. So it say Anthony Joshua DAZN announced long-term agreement AJ leaves Sky Sports. So, like KC said, it ain't no more AJ that's finna be on Sky Sports. He's strictly finna fight on DAZN. So let's see what this article say. It say, former two-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has officially departed from longtime broadcast Sky Sports. On Monday, the boxer officially announced an exclusive long-term deal with streaming service DAZN. So now, for those who don't know, Anthony Joshua wasn't signed to DAZN at first. Anthony Joshua was signed exclusively to Matchroom, and then he had a deal to where he fought on Sky Sports in the UK. So it says some reports are suggesting the deal is worth 100 million a year with 2 fights per year on DAZN pay-per-view. Now, we're going to talk about this shit. We're going to break this down. So it's saying that some reports are saying it's 100 million a year with 2 fights per year. So he'll be fighting 2 times a year. He'll be getting paid 100 million a year. That's what it's saying. And it's going to have to be on pay-per-view, right? All his fights finna be on DAZN pay-per-view. We're going to talk about that shit too. Now, it says, let me see. Last year, Joshua promoted. Okay, we know all that. It says the partnership will see Joshua future fights broadcast on DAZN platform to their customers worldwide. Joshua scheduled to face IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk in a rematch on August the 20th in Saudi Arabia. Well, I didn't know that they had the fight date set for August the 20th, so we know that, and that's going to be in Saudi Arabia. What else it say? It says, as part of the deal, the DAZN Joshua has become a shareholder, special advisor, and brand ambassador for the business. As a special advisor, Joshua will join DAZN's strategic advisory board as the business develops its global boxing offering. So they put in Anthony Joshua in the executive suit over there on DAZN. Now, I got a lot to say about that shit. I got a whole lot to say about that because that could be a big conflict of interest if he fighting on DAZN and he in a position of power too behind the scenes. Now, and I like Anthony Joshua, and y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash the like button. He says, I'm entering a new phase of my career with a new training environment, new coaches, now a new broadcaster. Negotiations at this level take time, so I am pleased to have it all wrapped up and now can finally focus on giving the fans and DAZN what they want, knockouts in glamorous division, Joshua said. So basically, he's putting in a position of power where he's a shareholder with DAZN. Let me see what else it he gonna be a special advisor and a brand ambassador for DAZN, right? So they're gonna have a lot of it looked like that they have a lot invested in Anthony Joshua, right? DAZN, that is. Now, with that being said, if I'm fighting Anthony Joshua on DAZN, I'm worried about that shit. They have a lot invested on Anthony Joshua. So if I fight Anthony Joshua on DAZN, I'm going in there to knock his ass out. Because with the shit that I'm reading, you can't win no close decision with Anthony Joshua as much as they have invested in him. They got invested $100 million a year. He's a shareholder, and he's a brand ambassador and an advisor for DAZN. So one of his jobs is for him to get other fighters to, you know what I'm saying, sign contracts with DAZN. He's gonna be like one of the faces of DAZN boxing. So that is a big conflict of interest when it comes to, you know, fighting him. You know what I'm saying? Fighting him. It's just like, I'm gonna make an example, right? For those who used to watch wrestling back in the day, right? Well, back in the day, Scott Hall, but not Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash doing the NWA, NWO shit, all that back in the 90s, right? Goldberg was complaining because Kevin Nash, he was like one of the dudes that basically, you know what I'm saying, that made the matches behind the scenes and that decided the outcome. And they were saying that, you know, he was putting himself in all the top positions and making himself win belts and all of that shit. So it was a conflict of interest. Now with boxing, of course, it ain't like wrestling, you know what I'm saying? But AJ, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got to watch out if you fight AJ. You can't go let some shit go to the scorecards and be close, because if you're fighting on DAZN, you're fighting AJ and the fight is close, or it go to the scorecards and you didn't won, who you think they're going to give it to? AJ. They got too much money invested in him. But with all that being said, you know, I do like Anthony Joshua. I don't like how he moved when it came to Deontay Wilder. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I like Anthony Joshua. Shout out to Anthony Joshua, you know, for getting his bread, you know what I'm saying, for getting his bread. But this also lets me know that this is going to be hard for them to get Wilder and Anthony Joshua done. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens with Usyk, whether he wins or loses versus Usyk, a lot of people still want to see Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder. Now, with him in a fresh new contract with DAZN, $100 million a fight, gotta be on DAZN pay-per-view. Also, all the other money they've invested in him. How are they ever gonna get a fight done with Wilder and Anthony Joshua? They couldn't even get a fight done with Wilder and Anthony Joshua per Eddie Hearn, because it was Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua's fault. But they couldn't get that shit done way back when Anthony Joshua was just signed to Matchroom. Now he's in an exclusive contract to where he got to give DAZN 2 fights a year on pay-per-view. How's that fight ever going to be able to get made? You know what I'm saying? How is that fight going? When have we seen a collaboration with DAZN pay-per-view and Showtime pay-per-view? It ain't happening. So I guess we can scratch that out. We can take that shit off the table, because with this new deal, Wilder and Anthony Joshua, they're not gonna fight. It's just too difficult to make it happen with the politics. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. To me, honestly, that fight, you know, it's still big, but it's kind of past what it was back in 2017, 2018. You know, it's really past what it was. Jay Chestnut, what's happening with it? DJ Black Charm Music, my man KG Alexander, what it do? PLG Ski, Bole, Chef Sosa, Dank Father, Next ESPN, what's happening with it? Aisha the Queen is in the building. My man Coach in the building. Anthony Johnson, what's happening with it? Keith Johnson, what it do? AJ64 say definitely would like to see AJ beat Wilder ass. Or I mean, my bad. I flipped that shit all around. You said definitely would like to see Wilder beat AJ ass. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen now with this new deal. And y'all hit the like button. If you're in the building, you know you came in the building, make sure that you smash the like button. It's free to hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing, and it don't take no time to smash on the like button, you know? But yeah, you know, but like I said, salute to Anthony Joshua for getting his bread. But to me, they invested a whole lot of money in a man that's shown to have a weak chin, that's shown to have a suspect heart, and that's shown that, to me, he can't beat the best of the best in the heavyweight division. Like, I'm going to keep it 100. To me, if Andrew Ruiz is on his A game with his fat ass, but that's a big if, I think that Andrew Ruiz would have beat him in the second fight again, right? Motherfucker was eating pizza in the locker room and coming in bloated and shit and out of breath. You know, if you look at Deontay Wilder knock his ass out. Tyson Fury come back and knock his ass out. Alexander Usyk, I'm picking Alexander Usyk to knock his ass out. You know what I'm saying? I'll pick big baby Jared Anderson to the dog shit out of Anthony Joshua. Then you got guys like Daniel Dubois. Now, Daniel Dubois stiff as a motherfucker, just like Anthony Joshua. But I heard rumors years ago that Daniel Dubois actually dropped and knocked out Anthony Joshua in sparring years ago. You got the white dude. I like that white dude, Philip Hergovich. Philip Hergovich will probably beat the shit out of Anthony Joshua. Philip Hergovich could go. You know what I'm saying? That's like 7 dudes I didn't name already. You got Joe Joyce that might be able to beat him. I don't know. I'll favor Anthony Joshua, but Joe Joyce got a hell of a jab, and Joe Joyce might be able to beat him now. So that's a lot of money to put into a fighter that is clearly not the best heavyweight in the world. Is clearly probably, you know what I'm saying, if you put him in a tournament, he probably ain't the top 5 best heavyweight in the world. You feel me? So what you think they gonna do? What you think they gonna do? All they banking on is Anthony Joshua in whatever fights he's in, go the distance. Because if they go the distance, you know what I'm saying? They finna rob the shit out your ass. They can't afford to have Anthony Joshua get his ass beat and then just have to ride off in the sunset and become a goddamn a journeyman or something. They got too much money invested. Now, to me, it just shows you, and like I said, I'm glad that he got his bread. I like Anthony Joshua. I'm glad that he got his bread, but it just shows you the horrible business moves that DAZN continues to make. The horrible business moves that DAZN, they continue to make horrible business moves with fighters that are not worthy. Like Triple G. They gave Triple G, what was it, like 120 million? Where the fuck have they recouped that 120 mil that they gave to Triple G? This motherfucker fighting my next door neighbor. Triple G been fighting my next door neighbor. But they gave him 120 mil. How they gonna get that back? They certainly ain't gonna get it back from him fighting, you know what I'm saying, my whole goddamn cul-de-sac, my whole block. He done fought everybody on my block. Ain't nobody we heard of. He grabbed a mother. He knocking on motherfuckers' doors in my neighborhood and shit, asking them to sign the contract. And then he going over here for one fight with Canelo. That ain't gonna do it. So they just making horrible business moves. Honestly, they would have been better off putting that money, if it was DAZN, right? Putting that money into one of their young fighters like Virgil Ortiz or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, somebody like that. I mean, they ain't really got too much over there, but you know, like goddamn, they put that shit, they put all that money into Anthony Joshua, and he already showed you what he is. Don't make no sense. But hey, that's on them. It ain't my bread. OTB boxing class 1-on-1. What's happening with it? And y'all smash the like button. OTB coach, I'm gonna shoot y'all a link too if y'all want to get up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can come in whenever you want to if y'all want to cook. But yeah, we got a lot to cook on today. A whole lot that happened this weekend. A whole lot of things that happened this weekend I got to get on. First thing I'm gonna get on is I'm gonna talk about what I told y'all, right? We talked about this on Friday. I told y'all about Trevor Bryan, right? Hold on real quick. Let me see. Hold on real quick. Okay, there we go. Now I told y'all on Friday I told y'all what I thought of Trevor Bryan. I said I heard niggas, hyping up Trevor Bryan on their channel. Like, oh man, Trevor Bryan and Don King, Trevor Bryan this and Trevor Bryan that, and Trevor Bryan and Trevor Bryan. And oh man, Trevor Bryan. Yeah, these dudes don't want to see no Trevor Bryan. That Trevor Bryan. So I said, man, let me go check out this Trevor Bryan that, some of my dudes is talking about on their channels. So I told y'all on Friday, I said I went and looked at Trevor Bryan, some of his fights, and I thought about him, and this is exactly what I thought about Trevor Bryan when I saw him fight. And I'm gonna break down to you, exclusively what I thought about Trevor Bryan when I saw him fight. So y'all got to listen to this shit. That's exactly what I thought about Trevor Bryan. Right there. Nothing at all. It was silent. You know what I'm saying? My whole mind and my whole brain went silent and shit when I watched Trevor Bryan because it wasn't nothing to think about it. The nigga was fat, sloppy, and trash when I saw it. So my mind went blank because I was trying to figure out what everybody else, you know what I'm saying, was talking about on their channels when they kept hyping up Trevor Bryan a little bit ago. I was like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? So I told y'all on Friday that Trevor Bryan was going to go in there and get his fat, sloppy ass knocked out, and that's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? And the nigga was showing out at the weigh-in, doing all type of ignorant shit. You did all of that shit you did at the weigh-in to get your motherfucking ass knocked out, your fat, sloppy ass knocked out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's trash. But Daniel Dubois is, you know what I'm saying? Did he impress me? No. Daniel Dubois is stiff as a motherfucker too. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no head movement. Daniel Dubois is stiff. He can punch, but he got a whole lot to work on. Feet slow, head don't move, don't get off the line at all. But he was good enough to beat a Trevor Bryan. You know what I'm saying? He was good enough to beat Trevor Bryan because that motherfucker just, you know what I'm saying? He looked, you know who Trevor Bryan who he looked like? The motherfucker looked like Larry Holmes, fat, sloppy, and washed up when Larry Holmes came back for his goddamn 10th comeback in the early 2000s and shit. When Larry Holmes was over 50 years old and came back. Come on, man. I don't ever want to see no Trevor Bryan. I don't ever want to see nobody talk to me about no goddamn Trevor Bryan again. Because I wasted valuable time researching Trevor Bryan because y'all niggas was trying to act like he was somebody. Yeah, get him off of my, yeah, he needs to go somewhere. Put Trevor Bryan in the same trash can with goddamn Yoriogas Gamboa, motherfucking Rancis Bartholomew, Matthew Bartholomew, whatever his brother name is, and all of them dudes. Put all them motherfuckers in the same trash can and throw them motherfuckers away because I don't ever want to see none of them on my TV. When my brother Batman called me up, you know what I'm saying, and you know, rest in heaven to my brother Batman. When my brother Batman called me up, he said, hey, Keith, he said, man, what you think about Gary Antoine versus Rancis Bartholomew? I said, who? He said, Rancis Bartholomew. I said, now, I said, PBC on some bullshit. Why the fuck they want to put him in the ring with Rancis Bartholomew? That's just a, that's a throwaway. That's a throwaway opponent. We don't want to build you like we supposed to. We don't want to put you in there with the level of opposition that we supposed to. So we gonna just throw you. Here's Gamboa. Here's Rancis Bartholomew. Them was throwaway fighters. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nobody else in the here. You can have Rancis Bartholomew. Don't nobody want to see, man. And that shit pissed me off because they know good so motherfucking well that they should be putting Gary Antoine Russell in there at 140. It's a whole lot of big fights that they could put Gary Antoine Russell on the PBC side in with, and they gonna get this motherfucking Rancis Bartholomew. No, I don't like that shit at all. But yeah, Chef Sosa. Back to Daniel Dubois. He still can't stop no jab. Like I said, he's not impressive to me. And I did shoot y'all the link, Coach at OTB. He not impressive to me at all. And y'all hit the like button. I'm just keeping it 100. I can't sugarcoat it. I can't sugarcoat this shit for y'all because I'm just speaking to y'all how I would speak if I was off camera. My man Ricky Williams in the building. Make the fucking fight. I don't care about none of that. I don't look. I don't care about none of that. Make the fucking fight. Yeah, Ricky Williams got a message for Terence Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Quit bullshitting around and make the fucking fight. Ricky Williams said Dubois did what he was supposed to do with Bookman. Hey, why you call that man Bookman? Oh shit. Damn, dude look like Bookman. Oh man. Yeah, Ricky did exactly what he was supposed to. And it's crazy. I bet on that shit. I bet on Daniel Dubois to get him up out of there before within 5 rounds, and he did it. Dane Father said Gary is ranked 11 in the WBA. Gary Antoine, man, fuck them rankings. I told y'all, we talked about this shit on Friday, man. How them boxing rankings, that shit just so fucking it don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean shit. They'll have a dude that's fought all his fights over there in India and shit be the fucking #1 contender to a title holder. Like that shit is just these boxing rankings, all that shit is just, mob like. It depends on how much money you finna slide one of these sanctioning bodies. You feel me? If you ain't sliding money to one of these sanctioning bodies up under the table, well, you might be, Antoine Russell ranked number 11. John Kramer was happening with it. And y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash the like button. Keith Johnson say Robert Easter versus Antoine Russell would be a good for hell. Nah, I wouldn't. And I fuck with Robert Easter heavy. That's my guy. But Antoine Russell would beat the goddamn Easter out of Robert. Antoine Russell would beat the Easter out of Robert. Motherfucking Antoine Russell beat Robert Easter so bad, motherfucking Robert Easter would never want to ever see an Easter Sunday again. That motherfucker gonna take the Easter out of his name. He ain't gonna go to church on Easter Sunday. He ain't gonna put on no Easter Sunday suit. Gary Antoine Russell will beat the Easter out of Robert. Straight up and down. But I love Robert Easter. That's my guy, but I gotta keep it real. To me, that fight ain't even competitive. And Robert Easter ain't fought in when? When last time he ain't fought in a couple years now. But yeah, so yeah, Daniel Dubois, like I said, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I was one of the main people that was Daniel Dubois this and Daniel Dubois that and Daniel Dubois is the future. I'm gonna keep it 100. I was Daniel Dubois this, and I thought for a long time, I thought that Daniel Dubois was that motherfucking guy. You know what I'm saying? I thought that Daniel Dubois was going to be that young heavyweight that would come up and give Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. I thought that he was going to be the heavyweight to come up and give all of them guys a fucking problem. And then I watched him fight Joe Joyce, and I said, God damn, it's been all smoke and mirrors with Daniel Dubois because this motherfucker don't even know how to defend against a jab. And then all of the flaws came out in that one fight, and we've seen them ever since then. Like I said, this motherfucker robotic. He's stiff as hell. Like, he really fight like the motherfucker should be in Iron Wars. If y'all know what Iron Wars is, you know what I'm saying? Iron Wars is the goddamn bodybuild, the weightlifting, you know what I'm saying? He fight like he a weightlifter. Like, he ain't got no flexibility. He just stiff as fuck, but he can punch. You know what I'm saying? He can punch. But yeah, so he's not it neither. You know what I'm saying? He's not it, but he better than Edgar Berlanga. I tell you that. He better than Edgar Berlanga. my man in OTB, what's happening with it?
What's happening, bro?
Ah, man, just another day. My man Ricky Williams said he recovered from a gunshot, right? Oh, yeah. He been recovered. Robert Easter, he been recovered. And don't get me wrong, I ain't knocking Robert Easter. I'm just giving y'all my opinion, but I fuck with Robert Easter heavy. Colonel Loco Sports says Dank Father River versus Tank is actually a good fight. Rivera versus Tank. Yeah. Rivera versus Tank. Hey, he in that, like Colonel Loco said. He said, Colonel Loco said, don't come with that soft ass bullshit. If he in the motherfucking rankings, if he is the number one contender, he ready. So I'm gonna go with Colonel. Yeah. Michel Rivera, he ready. He ready. Shit. He ready. Now, once he feels Tank's power, is he ready? That's a different story. But as for right now, on paper, he ready.
Yeah, I like that fight.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with that fight at all. It's better to me. It's better than the competition he been fighting.
Facts.
Let's go to Hyman. Yeah. Did you have anything before we get to the next subject? Did you have anything to say about that Trevor Bryan and Daniel Dubois fight?
Nah, exactly. You killed it, bro. Both of them, man. They just horrible. They just fucking horrible, man. And for me, like, man, that's like getting punked for me, man. Like, I'm yelling at the TV. This motherfucker can't get, like you say, he don't get his head off the line, but then he don't even understand the line. So he just want to sit in front of you and hope that his shot land.
Right. And real talk. So that shit, that was some sloppy looking shit, bro. Like real talk, OTB, like that was some sloppy looking shit. That shit almost looked as sloppy as goddamn Trevor Bryan's body did.
Bro, that shit looked like you see the crackhead fights that they used to put on World Star Hip Hop. Like, that's what that shit like, man. For somebody who love boxing, man, you felt bad by the end of that, by the fifth round of that fight.
I'm telling you, bro. Man, let's talk about Jaime Munguia real quick, man. And y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash on my like button. It's free. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? We in here every day cooking. You know what I'm saying? For y'all, hit the like button. Right. My man Zenith, I didn't even see you came in the building. Zenith said, I remember telling people AJ would beat Dubois because Dubois is slow. AJ combinations are fast enough to get him out of there. Yeah, I would definitely pick AJ over Dubois. I definitely would pick AJ over Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Because exactly what you said. Me and Zenith, we don't agree on a lot of shit, but that's one thing I do agree with Zenith with. And Knockout, before we get to the next subject, since you just came in, and salute to Knockout. Doing great things, man. You and KQ had a great show yesterday. Before we get to the next subject, Knockout, you got anything you want to add?
Man, I just hopped on, bro. Cause I was checking my email. I was like, oh, my brother live, and he dropped me the link. So I just hopped on, bro. What's the subject? And I can cook on it. What y'all talk? I heard Daniel Dubois and AJ a little bit. Is that what y'all talking about?
Nah. We was talking about sloppy fat ass goddamn Trevor Bryan. And Daniel Dubois. Both of them trash, but I was just
bro. Real quick. Yeah, real quick before you get to the next one, bro. I told people this shit wasn't gonna go past 5 rounds because I knew that once Daniel Dubois hit Trevor Bryan wasn't gonna be able to recover. You can't recover being that much out of shape, bro. And so when you get hurt and you that much out of shape, it's hard to get up, it's hard to recover. So I knew the first time that Dubois put him down, he wasn't gonna be shit, bro. And if you look at Trevor Bryan, yeah, he got a nice jab, but people was trying to say because he got a nice jab and Joe Joyce got a nice jab, that was gonna give Daniel Dubois trouble. But Trevor Bryan jab, number one, it ain't as powerful as fucking Joe Joyce jab. He got the most powerful jab in the heavyweight division. And number two, Joe Joyce beat Daniel Dubois, but Daniel Dubois was hitting him with some shit. What people underestimate is Joe Joyce's chin. Because Daniel Dubois, that was a competitive fight until he quit and took a knee. He was hitting Joe Joyce with some shit. And in my mind, I'm like, no way in hell can Trevor Bryan take them same type of shots. His left hand is too low. He gonna do what? He gonna jab. He gonna bring that left hand back low, and he gonna be wide open for left hooks and right hands. And Daniel Dubois hurt him with a left hook, followed it up with a right hand, put him down. In the moment he put him down, you could see that sloppy shit. It didn't work out, bro. It didn't work out because he was trying to get up. He was just too fat. He was too out of shape. And I promise you, bro, I think that the man got like fucking Burger King packets and McDonald's bags and all kind of shit in his car at the fucking venue, like on the way home. Probably had a double cheeseburger waiting for him once he got done with the fight, bro. And somebody that's that much out of shape, like you could see that he probably can't even do 5 push-ups, bro. He literally couldn't get his He literally couldn't even get himself off the canvas, my nigga. He couldn't even get up, bro. And so, you know, it went high. What'd you say, bro?
I said you finna bet in push-ups in the next fight knockout.
Which fight?
Nah, I said you finna bet goddamn Trevor Bryan push-ups in
the
next fight.
I can't bet him. Key, I can't bet him because it's gonna take him 2 years to pay off 50 push-ups, bro. Can't bet that man. He's gonna be doing fucking 2 at a time for a year. He's so out of shape, bro. He's just such a waste, bro. And I knew Daniel Dubois would do what he did, but I agree with y'all on the whole Daniel Dubois not really being it. At the end of the day, although he dominated that fight and he hurt Trevor Bryan over and over again, everyone within the studio, like my brothers on this panel, I know y'all still saw Daniel Dubois can't get the hell out the way of a jab for some reason, bro. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong with his defense, but Trevor Bryan was still able to jab him consistently, bro. So until he fixed that, he ain't gonna be shit because somebody gonna be in shape. They're gonna come with that jab. It's gonna be a fire ass right hand behind it. Ain't gonna be nothing he can do about it. Until he can defend the jab, I ain't too high on him, bro. But he was good enough to beat Trevor Bryant's sloppy, sorry ass, bro.
And I just like to add that the state of European boxing, man, they don't teach head movement over there at all.
Yeah, you right about that, bro.
J.A. Dixon. I'm gonna get that one to you, J.A. You was telling me a couple years ago that Daniel Dubois wasn't it, and I was high on Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? A few years ago.
Me too. He made me look like a fool. One of my first predictions, I picked fucking him to beat Joe Joyce.
Me too.
That shit made me sound like I don't know shit about boxing. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna lose subscribers.
Did, bro. Coach, can you get your take on that fight real quick if you want to get your take, and then we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it just like everybody else. Look like one scared, the other afraid. They just don't look right. They both slow. He was overrated. I picked Joe Joyce to beat him because he's bigger, stronger, got that hard ass jab, and get his head off the line. They don't teach him to throw a jab and move his head to one side. When you throw punches, get off the line, move your head. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna run. He's gonna get knocked out again. Somebody gonna knock him out. If they put him in there with Jared Anderson, he's gonna fucking crush. He's gonna get crushed.
That's a lot of heavyweights too, Coach. Jared Anderson, the truth to me. But you're right. You're 100% right.
Jared gonna be the next big American heavyweight. I promise y'all.
Because we teach boxing in Ohio.
Well, you know what the problem is with the heavyweight division. These young heavyweights ain't none of them fighting each other. We always talking about 135 and all these other weight classes. Ain't none of these young heavyweights fighting each other. Like I said, you got Daniel Dubois, you got Joe Joyce. They fought, but you got Daniel Dubois, you got Joe Joyce, you got Jared Anderson, you got the white dude, Philip, you got Philip Hargrove,
got his ass whooped.
Hergovich. What's his name? You got Philip Hergovich. He can fight. You got a lot of.
I will give him this though, Key. The other one, other than Dubois and Joe Joyce, the other ones though, who was it? F.A. Ajagba and Frank Sanchez. They did fight, so I give them credit.
That shit was pitiful, bro. I was at that.
It was a bad fight, but they did fight.
F.A. a robot. You're a robot too.
So all of these young guys in the heavyweight division, they got to get it popping. Yeah, Joe Joyce is 36, but he's young in the division.
He's like 12-0, 11-0 or something.
They got to get it popping, bro, because this shit ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like they talking about the heavyweight division basically blows up, boxing blows up. But these young dudes, these up and coming, they ain't fighting each other. Back in the era, you know what I'm saying? When I came up, bro, they was fighting each other. These motherfuckers was in their early 20s, all getting smoked with each other.
Yep.
And so that's another problem that I think that we don't really touch on enough.
Kano got a good point. Kano got a good point in the chat. I want to see that's an in-house fight as well. Fucking Stephen Big Shot Shaw versus Jared Anderson.
Stephen Big Shot Shaw, he ain't like, to me. I'm gonna keep it real. He ain't really all that to me, bro.
But it'll be he better than any fighter that Jared Anderson done fought.
Yeah. Well,
so I would love to see that fight.
And Jared Anderson ain't fought a 10-round fight yet, so
that'd be a good little 10-rounder because Stephen Shaw last fight was like an 8-rounder.
Yeah.
Frank Sanchez and Jared Anderson, I like that fight better.
Frank Sanchez gonna get smoked by Jared Anderson.
He too damn passive to me. Like he got skills and shit. He just too passive, bro.
Let me tell y'all something about Jared Anderson and why he gonna dominate. Jared Anderson is big enough, punch hard enough, and he's left-handed. And that motherfucker fight like he a middleweight.
Facts. He dressed like one too.
Well, he fight on both. He can fight off both feet.
Yeah,
like that's impressive for somebody that big who can fight in an orthodox or a southpaw style.
Got a gas tank.
Mm-hmm. He one of them. I say it all the time, bro. The American heavyweight. All our dudes that would be great heavyweights, most of them go play football. They play defensive tackle or offensive tackle. But he's one of the ones that they was able to get earlier. Look like he's so damn athletic out there. But they couldn't get a hold of him to go to the football field. He ended up boxing and he looked damn good. I can't wait to see him grow.
And y'all know the best. Y'all know the best thing about Jared Anderson. He's
What's
from
that?
Ohio.
Yeah, you need him so you can let go of AB.
Kano,
you need to let go of AB, bro.
I know Stephen Shaw. I know that's y'all do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. He ain't all that. I mean, he not. I mean, I know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I just like I do with all these other fighters. You know, I like him, but he ain't all that, bro. He's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Jared.
He better stay away from. He better stay far away from Big Baby.
Yeah, because he got a bad habit of staying on the line once he land his punch.
Who?
You know what I mean?
Big Shaw?
Yeah. Shaw. He gonna be there. You know what I mean? So if you can win an exchange with him, which Jared Anderson will win, I don't even know that he has enough in his power punch to hurt Big Baby. Big Baby big, man.
He's big, and the issue with him too is he's so much more athletic, and his hand speed is so much better than these dudes, bro. Right. Like he got tools and shit. Like people ain't really realizing it. Like people, everybody want to talk about Boots Ennis, and rightfully so, bro. Like I fuck with Boots heavy, y'all know I do. But for a heavyweight, bro, Jared Anderson hands are just like, bro, they not supposed to be that fast, bro.
His feet and everything, but
his speed is not supposed to be that quick either, bro. Like
people, he's not a big heavyweight. He's not no big super like one of them big motherfuckers they got in the game.
No 6'7". He ain't that.
This motherfucker ain't that, but that motherfucker skill level.
But coach, you know, back when we was watching in the 90s, 80s, the best heavyweights was around that size.
Right. And see, that's the thing. He got the hands and the foot speed of a middleweight, and that's gonna give all these big plug-in motherfuckers a prize. Right, they say he fucking smashed the boy in the fucking gym, knocked his ass down a few times. Tyson Fury, he fucked him up in the gym. You know, so that dude is the real deal, bro. He gonna fucking be the next big thing. I guarantee it.
Facts. And shout out to Tyson Fury for continuing that the heavyweight tradition of bringing the younger heavyweights in to work with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you gotta salute that.
Big Baby was tearing that ass up.
Let's talk about Jaime Munguia real quick so we can move on. Jaime Munguia, man, was getting his motherfucking ass toe up, and he had me scared because I had Jaime Munguia on my parlay for a knockout. You know what I'm saying? And he had me scared to death because I said this motherfucker he in here getting his ass beat. He finna fuck off my goddamn money. You know, yeah, he was getting his ass beat. I've seen Jaime Munguia in that predicament before when he fought who was the dude that he fought? Was it John Ryder? Nah, it was. Y'all help me out.
Nah, you
The
think
fight-
you think about this Hogan, ain't
Yeah, Hogan. When he fought Hogan, and he
you?
should have lost that fight.
No, I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, he should have lost that fight to Hogan. He was getting his ass outboxed, and they gave him the fight versus Dennis Hogan, but Dennis Hogan beat his ass. So this ain't the first time that I've seen Jaime Munguia get his ass beat. But so I was an excuse for Jaime Munguia. Oh, it was tough, and he had a tough weight cut, and this, and that. So this time he went in there and he fought motherfucking knockout boxing 86 TV's next door neighbor. Motherfucker we had never heard of before. He's getting the shit boxed out of him. He's getting the shit boxed out of him. Making Jaime Munguia look like he was a goddamn amateur. And then, they was telling Jaime Munguia in his corner, hey, bro, like you down, you gotta pick it up. They was telling him and he came out and he closed the show. You know what I'm saying? What was his opponent's name? I can't even think of dude's name.
Jim Kelly, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. He came out, he called Jim Kelly, and then he caught him with a nice uppercut. You know what I'm saying? Knocked him down twice. The third knockdown was pretty much Jim Kelly went down on his own. Jaime Munguia was throwing a whole bunch of flurries, but he wasn't really hitting shit. And the guy, you know what I'm saying, he just went down to get out of the way of the onslaught. He wasn't hurt like that, but the referee stopped the fight. Could the fight had to continue? Absolutely. If old boy would have got out of the round and made the next round, could he have made it a very, very difficult fight if he had to recover for Jaime Munguia? Probably. But Jaime Munguia, you know what I'm saying, he got the stoppage, but he kind of got saved too. He kind of got saved because the referee called the fight off. And I don't really think that Jim Kelly was that hurt like that. He was just kind of going down, saving himself from getting hurt like that. So yes, Jaime Munguia, you know what I'm saying, his power bailed him out of a fight that he was clearly getting his ass beat every round. But hey, Jaime Munguia ain't it. And I told y'all plenty of times that he ain't the one. I told y'all that's why they are moving Jaime Munguia like they moving him. This man got 40-some plus fights and ain't fought competition stiffer than my next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? And he's just not it. He ain't gonna be it. He'll never be it. And I wish that Jermell Charlo, I wish that they had made that shit get done with Jermell Charlo, because Jermell Charlo would have beat the shit out of Jaime Munguia. You know what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo would have beat the shit out of Jaime Munguia, and I hope that they get that fight made. Whatever they got to do, get the fucking fight made for Jermell Charlo's purpose, because Jermell Charlo needs somebody like Jaime Munguia on his resume. Jermell Charlo needs that fight more than Jaime Munguia do, because at the end of the day, all the shit that I talk about Jaime Munguia, he is still only 24. You know what I'm saying? He is still only 24. I don't even think he's 25. Yeah, I think he only 24 still. So he's still very young, and he's a lot younger than Jermell Charlo. So Jermell Charlo,
he's 25 key, but your point is still the same, bro. He's young as shit.
Yeah, 25. Well, yeah. So Jermell Charlo needs Jaime Munguia on his resume much more than Jaime Munguia needs Jermell Charlo on his resume right now, because for the simple fact, one main reason is the age gap. So they need to get that fight done. And I got Jermell Charlo beating the shit out of Jaime Munguia. But OTB, I'm gonna go to you, knockout, and then coach. So y'all just go around, And money, if you want to hop up here, let me know. I'll send it to you, and then you can click on if you want to. But go ahead.
Man, 43 fights, 44 fights, and no progression within his career. God damn it, no progression within his fight style and how
OTB, I gotta join the Jaime Munguia fan club on you right quick. He only got 40 fights, bro.
Okay, my bad.
He only got 40 fights. He's still young, OTB. Don't be
my
so
bad. 40 fights in, you understand? And I just, even though he's 25, I don't think that he can improve, and I don't have a reason to think that he's willing to improve in the things that he don't do good, which is he always want to brawl. He gonna fight off this front foot, and he gonna take whatever punch you give him to land his punch. And against a bigger punchers, a la Jermell Charlo, and maybe even Boo Boo Andre. Yeah, I mean, both would beat his ass because you so willing to exchange within the fight, because you just want to go in there and brawl, and you ain't still learned how to box in 40 fucking fights. You still don't know how to box. So no, I'll never be on the Munguia bandwagon. I don't really know his upside within his career. Like, that's what I would want to ask y'all is, what would y'all see the peak of his career being? Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know that I can name a fighter of credible value that I can say that he wins with that type of fight style. So it's really sad to see, and it's sad for the sport of boxing, because y'all okay with this shit. Y'all okay with letting these fighters go in here, fight 40 times, do what's best for them or for you at that moment when he getting his ass whooped. And if he go in there against the right person, they gonna knock his ass out. And that's embarrassing, man. It's sad for the sport, and it's sad for Jaime Munguia.
Yeah, bro. I agree with everything that you said. And I'm correct. I think a brother in the chat said Gabe Rosado was his best win. I think Liam Smith is his best win. I will give him that. Liam Smith is a much better fighter than Gabe Rosado. So I'll give him Liam Smith, the former champion out of the UK. Jaime Munguia did beat him pretty clearly. I think that's the high point of his career, to answer your question so far, OTB. But I'm in lockstep with everything you and Keith said.
But that's sad, bro.
That's very sad. I agree with everything that you said. The only thing I would add, because I don't want to repeat what you guys were saying, I would just say the huge red flag for me, on top of everything that you guys pointed out so well, the huge red flag is the weight, bro. It's the weight. Like you moved up to 60 because you was too big for 154. I watched you in your fight against Demetrius Ballard. I watched you pass out trying to make weight against Demetrius Ballard. Then you were supposed to fight this fight at middleweight. I need everybody to understand this. They were supposed to fight at 160, but Jaime Munguia had to have the fight moved to a catch weight at 165 because he couldn't make 160. And then when he came in at 165, how did he look? He looked flubbery. He didn't look like he was in the best shape. And so something's off with his preparation, with his training camp, with the way that he cuts weight. Something is off that's causing him to be really, really, really poor in terms of making weight properly and looking like the best version of himself. He just happens to be fighting fighters that really can't expose it. Jim Kelly did the best that he could, and I need everybody to understand Jim Kelly is a domestic level UK fighter that already had 2 losses, that had never fought in the United States except one time before. All his other fights was in the UK. He is the definition of a domestic level UK fighter that a supposed world-class former champion is supposed to be able to just beat up, bro. It's supposed to be able to walk to. Like, and the problems that Jim Kelly gave him, he made Jim Kelly look like a masterclass boxer for 4.5 rounds. And bro, I'm telling you, like, Jim Kelly can't really box like that. So you give anybody that you might think highly of, you can go Janabek, you can go Jermell Charlo, you can go with any champion. Andre, bro, he don't seem like he's on that level. And if we don't critique somebody like Edgar Berlanga, I don't know if we've done it on this panel yet, but I know I was very hard on Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga is the same age, and he got half the fights as Jaime Munguia. So if we out on him based off his performances, then I damn sure got to be out on Jaime Munguia. I don't think he ever had it, and I don't think he's gonna get it. But like, he might make some minor improvements. He might look good against certain competition, but the absolute moment, whether it's 160 or 168, the moment he fights somebody that is worth something, that's in their prime, that's a world-class competitor. And by world-class, I ain't talking about just champions. Move up to 168 and fight Daniel Jacobs right now and see how it go. Move up there and fight somebody like Ronald Ellis, and let's see how it go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not high on him. I think that he got a lot of stuff he got to work on, and specifically his defense. But more importantly, if you can't come in shape, you ain't gonna win the fight. And his last 2 fights been huge red flags because he ain't been in shape for neither one of them. That's all I got, bro.
Facts.
The kid need a nutrition. I don't know if he reminds me of, he's like
Coach, you going in and out. I can't hear you.
I say he's
Yeah,
like
I thought it was just me.
he's like the Josecito or Jesse Vargas of the 160-pound division. You know what I'm saying? He's on that level. That's why they so scared to put him in there with top-notch fighters. You know, I don't know what the fuck they're waiting on. This kid got 40 fights. You know, I don't know how they trying to build him. It's not even like they trying to build him. I don't know what they doing. It just doesn't make sense the way they moving him. Like, if you trying to make a star, they doing a terrible job over there with him, because he's not fighting nobody. Like, he's not challenging himself. He's struggling in the ring. I mean, maybe that's why they're not doing setting him up with the Charlo fight and all of this stuff. I don't know. He's a good fighter. I'm not gonna say he's not a good fighter, because he's a good fighter. But just like y'all said, he hasn't improved at all. Like, he's still on the same level from when the time he was a prospect. He hasn't gotten better. He's gotten bigger, but he hasn't gotten better. And I don't know if it's his training or he just looked like that on fight night because he's drained. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I think he's a good little fighter, but I think he needs a nutritionist probably to help him out. But I mean, he's not no world beater. You know what I mean?
At this age, do you think that he could
improve
on the things? Like,
yeah.
even if he changed his trainer?
I think he can improve. And the reason why I say he can improve is because I think he's athletic enough to where he can get with another trainer and get better. I think he's smart enough to get with a different trainer and get better. So I think
Coach, I think you're right. I think you're right about everything you're saying. I think you're right about everything you're saying. I would just question, is he smart enough to do stuff like that? And here's why I would question it. It's the same thing that I try to make much about with Terence Crawford. Like, you see, like, you were there, bro. You saw so I question whether or not, number one, are you smart enough? But number two, do you want it bad enough? Because you were there, bro. You were in the Demetrius Ballard fight. You saw yourself faint. You saw yourself damn near pass out, and you still didn't go get a nutritionist. You still got to fight at catch weights and shit when you're supposed to be a middleweight and shit. Like, how bad does he want it? How hard is he really willing to work to do the things that you're talking about? Because you would think that passing out, having sunshades on, people waving towels all around you because you done fainted trying to make weight and shit, you would think that would be a wake-up call. In the very next fight, you'll be like, all right, he about to come in shape. He about to do his thing. And then he comes in out of shape again? Well, like, nah, bro.
Look at it like,
I don't think he wanted, man.
He may have said that to himself. He may have said that to himself, but he also may have changed things up and thinking it was going to get better, but it didn't. You see,
and that's the reason that I'm inclined to disagree with y'all two on this, because y'all know, like, when things don't go right, he trains his trainer, he looks a lot better. 2-3 rounds, he boxing. You understand? Once you start getting out boxed and that don't work for you, you're gonna resort back to what you have done for the first.
Because he just changed to Eric. He just changed to Eric Morales, right? Didn't he just start working with Eric Morales a couple of fights ago?
Yeah.
Because he had a trainer before Eric Morales. Because Eric Morales is his trainer now, and I think he only been with Eric Morales like 3 or 4 fights, bro.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 fights. And I did see, right.
You got guys who are good boxers, like Eric Morales is a legend, but that don't make him a good trainer. You see what I'm saying?
Money, because it's on you. Go ahead and let me know what you thought about that Jaime McGill before we move on.
Yeah, with this situation, man, I just think, just me honestly thinking, the caliber opponents, man, sometimes you can just not get up for them motherfuckers. And not saying who he fought with somebody, they just feel like they go in there and knock those motherfuckers out to where, they feel like they go just get it over with. But when Coach said he haven't seen him get any better since a prospect, I beg to differ on that. I seen how McGill get a little better. Even in the Gay Rosario fight, I seen him fight a better fight to where he showed better skills, because he used to just, jump in on every goddamn thing to where I used to be pissed off at the things he was doing. So I seen him get better. It's just like he resort back to where it's not a noticeable name that he can go out there and really put the hard work in. There's no excuse for his motherfucking ass. But some names for fighters like him, when I look at his ass, he need that name to get his ass up, to bring the best up out of him, to me. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, I just think he didn't take this dude that serious. Like when they feel like they can just go in there and knock a motherfucker out, they feel like they can just, I'm gonna get him up out of there, so I don't have to do too much. But you gotta stop that type of shit, because sooner or later one of them type of fighters that creep up on your ass and deal your ass that first loss. You know what I mean? So with all the speculation going on with De La Hoya calling out this name, that name, this name, then that name don't be one of those damn names that you want to get for as a top notch name. You really don't take that shit that serious, bro. And that's why they asked you to start pushing the fucking promoters to get the fighters in there and challenge their goddamn self to put themselves on that level. But I seen Jaime McGill get better over the years for what he was looking like when he knocked out motherfucking Saddam Ali to become a world champion, and moving up from there. So he got the skill set to get better. What Coach said, he's athletic enough to get better because he's still young. But you gotta work on that shit every fight, every fucking fight. You gotta go out there and work to try to get better. Not just the fights where they put in there that's a big name where you feel like you gotta get up for that shit, because it's a possibility you get your ass knocked out or you'll lose. So he looked like the average motherfucker compared to who he was fighting, and just somebody you're gonna go in there and knock the fuck out, and that's how I judge it. Nothing too big, nothing too small.
Yeah, but
Money, what you think of Money? What you think of his conditioning issues, bro? What do you make of that shit? Because I think that's a huge red flag. What you think of that, bro?
Yeah, that's where he got. They got to work their ass off of that shit. Like I say, I feel like he just thought about going in there and just wanting to knock a motherfucker out. But if you go look at the Gay fight, he had his conditioning was okay to where he was in there working off the jab and shit. He was doing good things. That's why I said come to certain names to make their ass get up. But get a nutritionist. Once your ass got the money to do the shit, keep the weight down. Right, same shit we look at Errol Spence and Tank motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to be smart and keep the fucking weight down to where you don't have a fat cap and you can work on a goddamn game plan. So his ass ain't no different. Got to get a nutrition, and they got to take their damn careers more serious. Keep the weight down, and all that shit a play in that part. As long as you're keeping the weight down, and you can go out there and work the game plan, all that shit will fall in line. But your ass got to be mentally prepared for that type of shit, and not just keep doing the same shit over and over because you got an opponent where you think you can just knock the fuck out. And when them opponents coming in there to try to make their goddamn name off your ass.
Yeah, that's good. That's a damn good take, bro. He did look way good. His last two fights, he didn't look that good. But Gabe Rosado, you're right. He looked better than the Gabe Rosado fight. I just wonder what he's doing in between fights, Money. And the reason I was asking you, bro, because like the Gabe Rosado fight and the Demetrius Ballard fight, that was only like 3 months apart, bro. Like how you get that out of shape? How you fainting and shit? How you struggling that? But what are you doing in between those 3 months, bro? Like that shit's crazy to me. But I feel what you're saying. He definitely.
Let me get to the super chat real quick. Hold on. Let me read the super chat real quick. My man Zenith 360 in the super chat, and y'all hit the like button, man. Y'all got to get them likes up. I went and checked them likes right now. Y'all got to get them likes up. Them likes is looking real low. Zenith 360 say Munguia had his pick of Janabek, Andrade, Carlos Adames. He says, and Charlo, and his team said no to all. Golden Boy has 4 or 5 headliners. They're not risking Munguia anytime soon, no matter what. And then Munguia in the chat, he had put another comment I was reading too. And salute to Zenith 360. Salute to Zenith 360 in that super chat. He also said his conditioning didn't come into play. It was only 4 rounds. It was the skills gap. Hey,
I agree.
Zenith, you know what I'm saying? I kind of agree with that.
That's why I said what I said. He needs a different trainer to get him to do different things. Maybe, just like I said, whoever's training them now, when Eric Morales had them, you got fighters that are good fighters, but they're not good trainers. And the things that work for them during their career might not work for the fighter that they're with. So that's why I said what I said.
No, I agree with Zenith too. I wasn't saying it came into account. I'm not saying it came into account this fight, but I'm just saying like when he do step up, if that shit ain't right, like that's a huge red flag to me. Like you cannot fight the fighters that we want to see him fight, the guys that Zenith named in his super chat. If he comes in and fights those guys in the type of shape that he was in for this fight, it's a wrap, bro. I don't give a damn what skills, what you working on. You got to be in shape first.
Well,
if you ain't in shape first, nothing else matters. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying. Like for him to fight the level of fighters that we want to see him fight, in the last 2 fights that I've seen him, he has not been in the shape to where he can even compete with guys on that level. That's what I was saying.
See, the thing is, y'all, is it conditioning? Because he's able to close these fights in the late rounds too. When the later rounds, I never really seen him just have a back. Like, yeah, he struggles making the weight, and he don't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got a cut on him in his body. You know what I'm saying? He look just straight up and down his body, right? But I never seen him like look out of shape in the ring. Like he still got a high volume, a high punch output. You know what I'm saying? He's still able to come back and get these dudes up out of there. You know, sometimes later in the fight. So to me, it's just more of a skills. Like his skills ain't there on par, and he have problems with fighters that can box a little bit.
Well, he take rounds off though. We done seen him take rounds off. We done seen him give up the exchanges in rounds. You understand? We done seen like I done seen Jaime just say you can have this round. You understand? And he do close them fights out, but that draining ass fight style, you understand, where he loads up so big, shit, that shit draining, man.
Listen,
loading up.
I feel what y'all saying, bro. I think the skills are definitely need to be worked on, but I think more so like he's able to close out those fights because of the level of people that he's fighting in a lot of situations. But then you put him in there with somebody like, bro, like if you like, and this was just 2019. If you're struggling with Dennis Hope and you're struggling with Jimmy Kelly, bro, in 2022, if these are the guys that are struggling and you can't cut the ring, because he's gonna have to cut the ring off, he's gonna have to make people sit down and fight with him and hope that his power can come through. Doing that type of fighting and having to do that shit, bro, that requires you to be in shape to be able to do that. And if you can't handle the movement of Jim Kelly, you're not gonna be able to bank on hurting somebody like Charlo. You're not gonna be able to bank on hurting Janabek or Carlos Adames or any of these other top 5 to 10 middleweights that we want to see him fight. You can't bank on that shit, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like I agree, bro. The skills need to be worked on because there ain't nothing to write home about. But before he even get to the skills, you got to be able to at least make sure you are in shape to where you can implement a game plan at a high level against a world-class opponent. And I don't think he's been in that shape for at least a couple of fights now. And I just see people being able to box circles around him and make him tired and make him to where his output is going to slow down, because I see a flabby dude that's running around here barely trying to make weight. And I honestly believe he's been eating a lot of good food, bro. He been eating a lot of good food, maybe not working as hard. And it's showing in his fights. He's literally losing fights until he gets the knockout. Like the scorecards will tell you that Jimmy Kelly was losing, but we all watched that fight, bro. Jaime Munguia was down at least 3 rounds to 1, if not 4 rounds to 0 before he got that knockout. And he can't be doing that shit. Guys like Jimmy Kelly, if you Jaime Munguia or you a world-class 160-pounder, guys like Jimmy Kelly, you're supposed to beat their ass on the way to a knockout. You're not supposed to get bailed out by a knockout. He's supposed to be beating his ass all the way until he stops him, and he didn't do that. And that's why I'm not impressed with him until he can get it together. You know what I'm saying? He 40 fights in, and he a former world champion looking to be a 2-division champion. So I ain't trying to be too hard on him, but shit, when you got 40 fights, bro, I expect more of you. I expect way more of you. So that's where I'm at with him.
And now his body do look a lot different. His body do look a lot different. I remember when he came in, you know what I'm saying, on that tongue pull from kickboxing shit, he was ripped up. He looked way different than he used to his body. Like, you know what I'm saying? He hit that shit day and night from what his body used to look like when he came in the game at 154. Now he just, like I said, you can't find a muscle on that motherfucker with a microscope.
Man, and I can't find a credible fighter up there that he beat, that I can say he beat him.
Well, you got to give him.
Gabriel Rosado is
Gabe is a good win, but
Gabe,
exactly. And Gabe,
Gabe was coming off his best win, and Gabe did his thing against Danny Jacobs, and he knocked out the little up and coming Russian motherfucker, and he beat.
Yeah, you talking about Beck the Bully? Yeah, he knocked out Beck the Bully.
And
yeah,
he beat Saddam Ali after Saddam Ali beat Miguel Cotto. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to give him his credit for what he went out there and done, fam. It's like, of course,
Gabe got more losses on his record than I do in match.
Gay got more
Yeah, and
loss
I
on his
can't.
record, but Gay was fighting a lot of them motherfuckers. He was in some of them fights, still giving their ass tough fights. So yes, he took the L. It don't take away that Gay was out there fighting they motherfucking ass as well. So all I'm saying is the man he went out there, he beat who he beat. You know, not saying he got a fucking record full of motherfucking studs or nothing like that, but he do got some quality wins under his belt, bro, that you gotta give him credit for. And we see the talent in him, but if you continue to not, fight top motherfuckers and keep that momentum going, then you have shit like that, like Knockout saying, in a short period of time, a motherfucker blowing up because he making good money, and you know what I'm saying, you're not really staying in shape because you know you got a tough motherfucker next, and people like him, they has go out there, they have fun. He young, he having fun and shit like that. So the nigga came from nothing too to having something. So, but you gotta be, conditioned enough, and you gotta be consistent with what the fuck you doing, because it's the boxing game. But we all see a lot of motherfuckers that fall short to not staying in shape and things of that nature.
Facts. But I was speaking along the lines of the champions and other credible fighters looking forward. I don't know that he beat. I don't know that I can say that he can beat any of them.
I agree with that, OTP. I think that's what we on. We kind of projecting him fighting, you know what I'm saying, the top level, and we saying it ain't it there. But I mean, and I agree with Money and Coach. Like I agree, it's something there. Like he got the talent. Like I don't give a damn. Like he is a 154 champion. He fought some guys that are considered like maybe B minus. He fought Gary O'Sullivan before Landy Laurie. So he got some names that we heard of, but nobody to write home about. He just need to really get in the lab and work so we can see what he really is. But we'll see what's next one. He's an exciting fighter. He'll put punches together. He ain't really been in a boring fight, so I want to watch him fight. I just I want to see him do better, bro. That's really kind of where I'm at with him.
Right. I agree. And my man OTB on the panel and in the super chat, and he say, man, smash the like button, respect the work. Yeah, y'all gotta hit the like button. You come in the building, you forgot, hit the like button. It's free. But man, we gonna move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about Edgar Berlanga before we get into this whole Terence Crawford and the Hall of Fame shit. So real quick, we all gonna go around the panel and give our take on Edgar Berlanga. Man, Edgar Berlanga, like I told y'all, and I keep telling y'all, he ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people like, oh well, he's still young and he has a chance to to build his career and become a superstar. In boxing, you know who is it. You know what I'm saying? After a certain amount of fights, after you done seen him, like you can kind of tell, okay, this dude finna be a star. Or if this dude had this, trainer, or he did this in his preparation, he could be a star. I don't see that in Edgar Berlanga. He got too many flaws, too many things he needs to work on. He's just not it. Like, and I keep telling people this. He's not it, man. And he sounds like a fucking clown. Like, dude is, he afterwards, after a tough fight with somebody that they put him in with, Angulo, he's older. He's 38 years old. He a hard puncher, but he's somebody that's slow, that's gonna be right there in front of you on the front foot. And it's a style that Edgar Berlanga should be able to beat easy. And Edgar Berlanga was having a tough fight with Angulo. And he was scared of Angulo. To keep it 100, you know what I'm saying? Edgar Berlanga, he was scared of Angulo. He didn't want to feel that power. And he just, he rolls right into uppercuts. He don't get his head off the line. He does so many fucking things wrong. It's crazy. And I know a lot of people were saying, oh man, we want to see Edgar Berlanga versus David Benavidez.
Shit.
Well, David Benavidez beat the dog shit out of Angulo. He beat the shit out of Angulo. And a lot of people, a lot of people think that Edgar Berlanga lost that fight to Angulo. Now, I thought that Edgar Berlanga, he did enough to edge it out. But come on, man. That's an opponent that they put there that was supposed to be tailor-made for you. to look good against. You know, yeah, you were supposed to maybe have a little rough time until you felt him out. You're supposed to get him up out of there. Like I said, Edgar Berlanga was all smoke and mirrors. He was all smoke and mirrors. You know, all in first round knockouts. It got to his head. And I said a long time ago, when I seen him kicking it with all the rappers in the Terror Squad and trying to be a superstar, I said, I don't like that shit for this kid. This was back when he was still on his knockout streak. I said, I don't think he's gonna be that good. I said, because I'm getting the Adrian Brunner vibe out of Edgar Berlanga. He looked like he want to be more of a superstar than be a motherfucking all-time great in boxing. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets on the mic and he like, oh man, you know, I was just too skilled and I was just way, you know what I'm saying? My level of boxing and everything was just on, I was just on a whole nother level than this guy. I was just too much for him. What motherfucking world were you in? Did goddamn Angulo give you a concussion? Because we wasn't watching the same fight. And like I said, although, you know, he won and he tried to do a Devin Haney, but he ain't as good as Devin Haney to do what Devin Haney was doing. He tried to win the whole fight with a jab, but he couldn't fucking get his head off the line and he was getting hit with everything with Angulo. And Angulo finally started slowing down in the later rounds. And I think that's what gave Edgar Berlanga the fight, because Edgar Berlanga knew, like I said, he was scared. So he knew he had to stay on his back foot. And he was, you know, on his back foot and he was using his jab and he was trying to move and box, but he kept cornering himself. He kept cornering himself because he just, like I said, he got a lot to work on. Whoever his trainer is going to have to put in a lot of work with him. And then he switched trainers. He also switched trainers. So to me, he kind of looked like Jared Hurd a little bit. He reminded me of Jared Hurd. When Jared Hurd had got his ass knocked out and then he tried to switch his fighting style, trainers and all of that. Like, and so, you know, I looked at Jared Hurd and I said, man, this dude, he don't really know who he is as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? He don't know who he is. And he's confused. And that's the same thing with Edgar Berlanga. Like, he don't really know who he is as a fighter. He confused. He don't know what he want to do. So yeah, man. And then him biting, right? He bit Angulo. Motherfucker bit him clearly. Looked at the ref, made sure the ref couldn't see, and bit him. You know, so his ass needs to be suspended. Because last time I checked is when fighters bite other fighters, they get suspended. You know what I'm saying? Didn't goddamn Isaac Redcats get suspended? Mike Tyson got suspended. His ass needs to be suspended. You feel me? Like, what is you biting the man for? You supposed to be the motherfucking I'm the monster. I'm not. Come on, man. This dude is smoking mirrors. He's soft. They built him up to look great against the competition that they was putting him in, and he did his thing on that 15 fight knockout streak or whatever, but he ain't it. He's not it, you know, and he need to get suspended for biting that man. But OTB, I'm gonna go to you.
Shout out to the people at Top Rank for making us actually believe that he was ever a credible boxer and fighter in the sport. Yeah, I mean, they did their thing with building him up, but I seen him jump with a jab. Yeah, I mean, I seen him step with his jab. I seen him consistently rotate into the right hand. Like, shit, so perhaps a lot of the things that he do, you're not about to be able to teach him. So my question for myself when I was watching the fight is, what ways or what could I equal out, you know what I mean, his fight style with? Like, what could I teach him to do that would help him in his fight style? And it ain't nothing that you can do to help him because he's scared to get hit. But he don't want to watch nobody's shoulders, and he don't understand the line. So once the fight start, then he just start reacting. And the fighter who just gonna react as a fighter, he's not a boxer. Boxing is thinking, shit. So once I see that you can't think in these type of situations, then I know what type of fighter you about to be in your career. And shit, he gonna get beat the hell up, and he just gonna go in there hoping he land his punch. And that's sad to see. It's sad for everybody who was a part of his career, because unfortunately ain't none of y'all asses been able to get through and teach him no head movement, teach him no weight transition, teach him how to watch shoulders so that he can fight off the back foot. So if you don't counterpunch, then you have something to lean on within your fight style. And that's sad to see for the state of boxing. And I don't know if it's sad for the trainers that's been a part of his career, or sad for him as a fighter, because you got to go in there and do what they telling you. Yeah, I mean, so shit, regardless, it's just sad to see, man, because I don't think that you can help that. I don't think it's no saving that at this point.
Man, well said, bro. So I agree with everything that ETB and OTB both said, but I want to focus in on a couple of things. Number one, because I'm probably gonna be very critical towards Edgar Berlanga. So before I do, let me just say I do appreciate that he realized that all them trainers that he had, he knew it wasn't working, because he had bad performances against Caceres, he had bad performances against Steve Rose, and so he tried to switch it up and go back to his roots. He went back to his childhood trainer. Shout out to Cano Loco. He gave me this information. The guy that was training him was his childhood trainer, so he went back. He heard the critiques. He tried to go back and work on his fundamentals and work on his boxing skills. So for trying to actually go get better, I'm gonna give him credit for that. I'm gonna give him credit for that and say, man, I'm glad that you at least knew you was doing something wrong, and then you tried to go correct the situation. So I'm gonna give him that credit. Key's point about him continuing to duck into an uppercut, 100% on point. The man defense, his awareness, his ring IQ needs work. But what I'm gonna focus on before I pass the coaching money, what I'm gonna focus on and why I think he's done, it ain't got nothing to do with skills. It ain't got nothing to do with his jab being horrible or him not being able to get out the way of punches. He mentally weak and he ain't got no dog in him, bro.
Yep.
He mentally weak and he ain't got no dog, none whatsoever, bro. Like, not only did he bite, Angulo, the 38-year-old Angulo had you so frustrated, so caught up that you tried to bite him. You know how frustrated and how much you got to be checked out mentally to try to bite somebody, bro. Like, you done, bro. You done. If he got you doing that, the moment you get in there with a real dog, and 168 got a lot of them. The moment you get in there with a real dog, bro, your ass getting walked through, and they gonna beat you up and they gonna do you bad. When he lose, it ain't gonna be no barely decision, y'all. It ain't gonna be no barely decision. It ain't gonna be no close ass unanimous, bro. He is going to get beat up. He is going to get his ass whooped. But even more so than him biting, I'm looking at the fight, and I'm listening to the OG KQKC. Shout out to him, but I also got the sound on, and I'm noticing that Berlanga keep looking up. Every time he keep looking up at the screen and shit. This man in a fight looking up like, damn, I hope this round is over. He looking up to see how much time is left in the round, looking at the big screen, bro. He ain't got it mentally, y'all. Like, all them skills and shit, all that, trying to work on your shit, that's all cool. But you told me that somebody can take you somewhere to where you ain't willing to go. Somebody gonna pull that card on you, bro. You in a gladiator sport, homie. You in a sport where it's warriors in that bitch, bro. Like, somebody gonna pull your card, and I already seen enough to know, and I know enough about boxing. I trust myself enough to know that young man ain't got no dog in him, bro. He might, before he get hurt, before he get beat up and embarrassed, because they gonna keep trying to main event his ass. They gonna keep having him go fight in front of all them Puerto Ricans in New York. I'm asking Bob and Top Rank and all y'all, bro. Before y'all get that man beat up and embarrassed, man, y'all need to have a sit down with that young man and get him the hell up out of there, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. Fighters that don't have no dog, he is going to have a Chris Colbert moment, bro. And I didn't see Chris Colbert coming, but I see this shit coming a mile away, bro. I saw everything that I need to see in that young man last night. You don't look up at the clock hoping that the round is over. You supposed to be in such good shape. You supposed to be such a fighter that shit don't matter. You trying to beat somebody's ass to the bell ring, and if you can sneak one after the bell, you sneak one after the bell too. That's how you supposed to be getting down. You ain't supposed to be moving like that, bro. That young man ain't got no dog. He showed it on this weekend, and I just know it's gonna be a precipitous fall, bro. He gonna get his ass whooped by somebody. The moment that he fight a dog, it's a wrap for him, bro. And that's all I got, man.
All right, my turn.
Yes, sir.
How many of y'all picked Edgar Berlanga to knock him out? Now, we got the receipts from last time. How many of y'all picked him to knock all that guy out? Angulo.
I definitely did. I definitely didn't. I said a decision. Kano Loco Sports picked the knockout, though.
And,
I do remember that.
oh, I hollered at. I hollered at Kano already. I hollered at him already.
Coach, I picked him by a majority decision. I thought he was just barely escaping. That's what he did, Coach.
I told y'all that was gonna be a hard fight for that dude. I told y'all because of the fact that kid, just like you said, you hit it the nail on the head knockout. He don't have the right attitude. The worst thing that could have ever happened to this kid was him getting 16 knockouts in a row. That's the worst thing that happened to him. And now he's on this, they put him on a fast pace. They need to slow him down. They need to keep his level of competition under Angulo right now. He's not ready, bro. And I don't know if he's going to get ready because his confidence is shot. His confidence is shot. He's not. Now, the one thing that he did do better from the last fight was he got in better shape because we saw him try to box. Before, he was just plodding ahead, getting his ass whipped, and they gave him a gift in the fight before this. And I kind of think they gave him a gift in this fight. I think Angulo was putting more pressure. Angulo was letting his hands go. And I think that Berlanga, they gave him, this is 2 gifts in a row. And you can see that this kid, his confidence level is gone. And if they put him in there with one of them fucking top boys, he gonna get fucked up because he don't have that in him. It's not in him.
Big facts, OG. Big facts. I see the same shit, bro.
You know, can't fight from the outside or the inside. Shit,
I mean,
through. His ass done.
Nah, I'm not gonna give that dude. I'm not gonna give that man that I'm not gonna give him that jacket yet. And the reason I'm not
even that OTB, he just soft, bro. He's soft. Yeah,
I think that's what it is. I think that he's been baby, and like I said, he's been you just like when Lubin dropped him in the gym, right? But I don't know how many times this.
Shit.
I don't know how many.
Dude said they need to move him like Joey Spencer. That shit.
Vito Mill Nicky.
Oh shit, my bad. Go ahead, Coach. No, Coach. I don't know what happened with Coach. Hey, that shit was funny. Funny as hell. Fucking Loving Down Gator said they need to move him like they moving Joey Spencer. Oh shit! That fucking Joey Spencer, dog. That motherfucker been pro since 2016, and they still got him fighting 0-20 prospects and shit. Oh shit! I mean, not even a prospect. 0-20 goddamn cab drivers. But money, man. What you think about what you think about your boy Berlanga?
Shit, I'm kind of around your wave with it. Like, I thought he did enough to edge it out, but him biting the motherfucker just shows you the frustration in him, and that he disappointed in his goddamn self. Because I'm quite sure he was expecting a knockout, even though he was trying to box. And I do agree with Coach. He did have a little better conditioning going in out there, but my man. I mean, we all sat up here and said that it was gonna be tough for him. We all know what Angola was. We all seen what Angola did with the fighters that was tougher than fucking this dude. You know what I'm saying? Edgar Berlanga, that was tougher than him. So we all knew that he was gonna stick around. We all knew that he can give us as a challenge. And I think that's what the matchmakers seen as well. They seen like, okay, they can give him a challenge, but with the power that he supposedly possesses, right? They was expecting him to land that shit on him. And they knew that he was gonna give him an opportunity to land it. But I'm like you, Key. He didn't really want to engage to the point to where, you know what I'm saying, he wanted to land that shit because he wasn't afraid of his ass. I'm saying all that monster talk, you hit me with a punch, a motherfucker go away, all that shit. He wasn't afraid of him, and he kept coming forward, kept coming forward on his ass, letting him know that, bitch, you have to knock me out or I'm going to catch you. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to sit there and do that if he know he didn't hit him and hurt him and try to get him up out of there and shit. So I didn't see him trying to force a knockout, right? Which I was saying he don't need to try to force a knockout, but he just got to get the confidence up like you said, Key, him being out there with motherfucking Snoop Dogs and Fat Joe, and him getting all that love and all that glory, like he really done something when they really haven't done shit for real. It blow their head up at times. It blow their head up to where they get the calling out motherfucking David Benavidez and get the calling out Canelo Alvarez and shit like that because they feel like they really done something and they ain't done shit but beat who you supposed to beat and the people that they put in the ring with. So this supposed to have been one of them fights where he's supposed to look good. Supposed to have been a little tough scrap, but he was supposed to get the knockout to make it look like okay, right? He was in there with some tough competition and shit like that, but he didn't really push the issue to go out there and force that shit to happen. So the fight went the way it went. So it is on him to go out there, and try to do better. Get I don't know about the coach, right? I think the coach because they try to get him back to that stage where they said they trying to get him out the mind frame of just going out there trying to get knockouts against motherfucker and get him back to boxing because he can box, right? Quote unquote, he can box. And that's what they wanted him to do and box and try to let it come to him to where he's not out there trying to force shit. And it just looked like even when he tried to box, he couldn't even set up the shit to really land that big punch to get him out of there because for him to get his knockouts, he has to fight. You know what I'm saying, Key? He don't know how to really set that shit up and get you the fuck up out of there. He was getting his knockouts by going out there fighting motherfuckers, hurting them, and getting them up out of there, fam. And he didn't want to engage too much to try to land that punch because he knew that motherfucker carried power too and he felt that power. You know what I'm saying? So with that man not being afraid of him, the reason why he bit the damn man and he tried to force that man to do some stupid shit to where he can land a shot. So he got a lot of work to put in, man. He got a lot of work to put in. He do got some raw talent to where he can fight. He do got some real raw power if he learn how to sit his ass down and land the right shots. But he just got to put his fucking feet back on the ground, man, and get his fucking heads out the cloud because, when you got that Puerto Rican fan base like that in New York and they coming out and they packing that motherfucker and you getting all the love around the city and now you connected to this fighter, you going to LA, you taking these trips, you got these big ass chains on.
Well, shit, money. I got a question.
Hold on, let me finish this first. You think you got all the fucking hype in the world and you thinking that a motherfucking superstar. You do got star status, you know what I'm saying? The shit that you was doing because everybody loves seeing knockouts and shit like that. So just for him to get his fucking head out the cloud, get his feet back on the ground and grind that shit out, man. Get out that motherfucker social media life, which is gonna be hard because here in New York around rappers and shit and the pussy coming to you, the this coming to you, all that shit. He just got to get his fucking heads out the cloud and really get focused in his fucking boxing game because you can get your ass hurt and fucked up out there. And he the type kid that we can see that as long as it's going good, he gonna be okay. But if that shit start going bad and that media switch on his ass or where they build you up to tear your ass down, if he the type of kid that if they start turning him down, he go fall, bro. He go break. You know what I'm saying? He go break because he love media hype. You know what I'm saying? So he just gotta get back to it, man. Get the right trainer and just, he gotta want that shit. He gotta want it and stop trying to be so goddamn big headed because he is a big headed ass fighter. But he gotta want it. Get your fucking feet on the ground and go out there, put the hard work in, man. But what was the question, OTB?
Shit, what? Excuse me. What is it that we see in him that allow us to say he could box at one point in time? Yeah, I mean, he can box. Everybody keeps saying, oh, well, he can box. He used to be a boxer, but he don't display or exhibit no execution and nothing that we would certify him as a good boxer. I don't either. I don't see head movement. I don't see jab. Like you just said, he don't set up his punches, his feet. He don't understand the line. Like shit, what is it that you've seen in him that allow us to say that there's still potential in him as a boxer? That's the only reason I dug into the trainers and the people who not getting him to execute because we know he's being taught it.
Well, that's why I said, quote unquote, they said he used to box, right? But he must have some type of boxing skills if they speaking on that he's doing this. But I just see second guessing, man. It's like when you win that motherfucker and you know you got the power to knock a motherfucker out and you're trying to stick to a game plan of boxing because when we look at him, right, we look at his style, we're not going to look at him as being like the best pure boxer, right? But it's some things that you can do to set up your punches and things of that nature to where when they would just send him get all them fucking we knocking motherfuckers out like that in the first round and that it don't make it no better, right? So they just looking at him and they think it's, oh, we don't want him to fall in love with the knockout so he can go out there and do this and do that. No, maybe he need to, go out there and focus on the power and just set it up with the power. You know what I mean? Something like Deontay Wilder. You don't have to try to outbox a motherfucker for 12 or 10 rounds, but you gotta, work like set up a game plan for his power and not try to set up some shit to my way. We want you to box and do this and do that because we know you can box. Like he don't look like the purrs or the best motherfucker, but you just gotta have some type of style to set up that shot. You know what I'm saying? Something where they can work on to where you working the jab and you keeping the right range and distance where you hurt a motherfucker, you get him up out of there instead of you going in there and going in the inside just trying to dog the shit out and get it that way. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might have to bite down and do like N'Golo, right? That to me, right? Just to me. That was that fight, like he said, he didn't look like he wanted to engage, but that was a fight where I felt like you should have engaged more, motherfucker, because you're gonna have the opportunity, you know what I'm saying? But we seen his ass hit that canvas, and he know he can hit that canvas. So it's gonna be a lot of second guessing with fighters like him, bro. A lot of second guess because he don't know what the fuck he want to do when he get inside the ring. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said quote unquote. But we'll see in the future. But he better figure some shit out. And he better figure it out quick because, like I said, the little stardom that he do got. And y'all see how we talking about him? That shit is gonna keep dropping and dropping and dropping. Even though you're getting the W's, right? It's how you get a W. So that shit gonna keep dropping and dropping and dropping. And if pretty soon y'all don't get them knockouts, then a lot of shit gonna really play on in his mind. So I wish him the best. I still like him. And we'll just see where he go from here. See if he can find that right trainer. And it's gonna be about his ass getting his fucking heads out the clouds and put his fucking feet on the ground and want that shit, bro. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and salute to my man Kyle, the boxing section. What's happening with it? And Jay Miller said the only dog in him is the K9 instinct to bite a motherfucker. And y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash on the like button. If y'all ain't hit that like button yet, smash on my like button. Yeah, man, Edgar Berlanga, he just got so much to work on. You don't even know where to start at. Real talk. If you training him, you be like, where the fuck do you start? You know what I'm saying? Because he got it. See, it's easy to teach somebody like him, right? If they don't have a huge ego. He already got a huge ego. He think he the motherfucking superstar. This motherfucker think he Mayweather already. You know what I'm saying? And like my man in the comments said, I forgot who said it, but he said Edgar Berlanga, the motherfucker got real tough after the fight. After the fight was over, man, he was loud and tough. And remember, as soon as that bell rang, he actually wanted to really fight. You had, what was it, a 10-round fight? I think it was 10 rounds. You had 10 whole rounds to want to fight Angulo, but then you pretend you fake tough and you want to act like you want to fight him after the bell rang, after the fight over. Like, to me, dude is a clown. Like, for real, dude, a clown. Talking, oh man, I was just y'all seen me, man. I was levels above him. He just wasn't on my level. Motherfucker, you was in there scared to death. And just like Knockout said, he was in there, and I seen it too. He was in there looking up at the clock, waiting for the rounds to be over. Like, God damn, this motherfucker on my ass. How much more time we got left? Shit, I got to move around and stick and jab for how much longer? You seen it in him. And you seen that he didn't have no dog in him at all. No dog at all. So, yeah, man, Edgar Berlanga ain't it. And it's just a matter of time before he get an L, before he get beat bad. And I agree with Knockout. When he get beat, he going to get beat up bad because he's one of those type of fighters that take a lot of punishment and he going to get beat the fuck up real bad when somebody, you know what I'm saying, once he step up in the ring. And I heard Kano in the comments say his next opponent is going to probably be between Jesse Hart or Steven Nelson. Now, Jesse Hart to beat his ass, but Jesse Hart, he ain't got a lot of dog in him. So that's a good opponent for Edgar Berlanga. That's a 50-50 fight. And then Steven Nelson, to me, would be able to beat him, but shit, Steven Nelson ain't fought in a couple years.
3 years, yeah.
And Steven Nelson out of shape himself. And I like Steven Nelson, but I would want Steven Nelson to, get in a couple fights because he's been out the ring too long. And I seen him, I follow him on social media. He blew up and wait for a while, and so he ain't been active enough. But yeah,
nigga becoming a TikTok model around him, mother.
Right. The nigga, he funny as hell though. Steven Nelson funny as hell. Master Khalik said, supreme peace to my brother Key, coach, and the boxing fan, man down. Yes, sir. And y'all hit that like button. And salute to my man, Master Khalik, in that super chat. I'm going to have to start singing or some shit when y'all drop super chat. I'm going to have to start singing like the singing OG. For real. Yeah. Nelson had I think it was a knee injury or Achilles or something. Yeah, it was Achilles, a knee or something he had. But man, let's get into this Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me talk about the Hall of Fame real quick with Floyd Mayweather, man. So Floyd Mayweather, man, he gave a hell of a speech, and the whole time Floyd Mayweather was giving his speech, I was like, when is he gonna start talking about his smart investments that he made? And I knew it was coming. Hey, for real. I said, because he tried to disguise it, right? He tried to disguise it like he was just up there. He wanted to give everybody else their flowers, and I said, God, I said, come on. I said, now this ain't Floyd. This ain't Floyd. And I'm looking, and it was hard felt. I'm gonna keep it 100. It was hard felt, but in the back of my mind, I was like, is Floyd acting? Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. In the back of my mind, I was like, is Floyd acting? Because he was crying like a motherfucker, and I was feeling that shit.
Yes, the fuck.
I was like, man, I was like, damn, this is some heartfelt shit. I'm watching it, and then I'm like, hold on, man, is this nigga acting? Because that nigga tears dried up real quick, and he got to talking about it. Hey, man, Floyd put on the hell of a. I don't know if he. I was confused. You know what I'm saying? I was confused. I don't know if he was acting or he was serious. But that nigga, if he can act, somebody needs to get that nigga in the starring role because that motherfucker can act.
Nigga had to do something to
He disguised that shit for a minute real good. He was giving everybody his flowers. He putting on a hell of a show. Like, and it ain't even about me. It's about everybody else. And then there it goes.
Here came the real Floyd.
His great investments in history. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then he got to the real Floyd. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker was acting. Hey, Floyd put on a hell of an act. And that was a hell of a speech he put on because he didn't read off or nothing. He memorized every line. That nigga memorized every line of his speech. He didn't stutter not one time. And yeah, that motherfucker could talk a bit. When he get to talking about himself, he ain't never lost for words. Yeah, man, he put on the hell of a show. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Floyd put on the hell of a show on that podium.
That nigga full of shit.
Hey, that nigga couldn't wait to start talking about his great and smart investments. And, man. He put on he put on a masterclass performance. You know what I'm saying? That shit was Denzel Washington-esque.
Hey, you got to shout out to Drake.
Man, shout out to everybody who was a part of his rehearsals for that shit, man. Because I could just imagine what they went through.
Hey, you got to shout out to Drake because Drake is steadily bringing to light all the corruption in boxing and the promoters and them sanctioning bodies. You got to.
Well, I'm gonna have to touch on that. Actually, I'm gonna have to touch on that tomorrow because see, the thing is I only saw Floyd's speech, so I didn't see Roy Jones. I only got to see Floyd's. So, but I'm gonna go back and watch the whole thing.
I was looking at the interview that he was doing when he was signing. He was outside. He was getting off the golf cart and stuff, and he did an interview. I don't know if it was with Fight Hype. I think it might have been with Fight Hype. Man, he did an interview and he was talking about all of that, about how the sanctioning bodies taking all this percentage for what? And he was like, this was, and they don't even have a union and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Drake, and he addressed it in his speech also. So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna go listen to Dre's speech, man. But OTB, man, what you think about Floyd Mayweather performance on that podium?
It was classic Floyd, man. That was classic Floyd right there, boy. I love to hear what 50 Cent got to say when he see that shit. That's who I want to know what they got to say. But man, it was typical Floyd, classic Floyd, man. I was at first, I was like you. I was believing the shit. Like, I'm like, okay, then, I mean, this sound genuine, but then once he get to talking about himself, which we all knew it was coming, then shit, that's when it sounded like the violin started playing and shit.
Bro, that is disgusting with that shit.
All right, but I do gotta say this, right? He earned it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he wanted to do and the act he put on that, ain't nobody worked harder than Floyd did. Ain't nobody dedicated their life to the sport of boxing more than what Floyd did. So, that's one thing I gotta say. I thought he was, putting on performance after a while. Like, okay, he was performing, but he earned it. That's one thing we do gotta give Floyd his flowers, because that motherfucker earned it from the time he was a little bitty boy. You know what I'm saying? To now, like he put in the dedication, the hard work. He was more focused and more disciplined than anybody. Wasn't nobody more focused and disciplined than Floyd, and he gave his life to the sport. So with that being said, we do got to give him his flowers, because he earned whatever he wanted to say, whatever act he wanted to put on, whatever he wanted to do on that podium, he earned it.
And he definitely set the precedent for being a champion, and boxing. But by no means do that make you bigger than the sport itself, man. That's my knock on the shit. Like, bro, you always manage to make yourself bigger than the sport itself. Once you start talking about business and all of that shit, then you make yourself bigger than the sport itself, man. And you will never be bigger than this sport.
And not only that,
yeah, because
that's why he can't.
He was, all them other dudes are sitting up there, and I that's when I was like, okay, yeah, he was just putting on the act, because it's kind of like the shit he was talking about. It's kind of like he was kind of, to me, you know what I'm saying? He was throwing it in the rest of them faces. Like, and I made smart investments, and that's why I was able to make $1 billion, because how I moved in my investments outside of the ring. And a lot of them dudes up there, you know what I'm saying? Right. They doing bad in their career. They doing bad in life. A lot of them dudes, they and so it's kind of like he was throwing it in their faces and shit, like, oh, I did this, and but
because he used that key too. He used that key two shit on them before. You see what I'm saying? Like the shit that he was saying on the podium, he used that shit to shit on certain fighters before.
Right.
These fighters, they jealous of me because I did it like this. And like I say, by no means necessary are we taking none away from Floyd Mayweather. Like he said, he's my GOAT. I got Floyd as my greatest fighter of all time, and I got my reasons why behind it. Inside the ring, you can't take shit away from that man inside the ring. But his outside the ring antics, it did take him over, bro, because he used to be a little bit more humble than what he was, fam. But like it did take him over, and you can even tell, even half of them motherfuckers up on the stage knew he was fit to be full of shit. You know what I'm saying? And not saying full of shit for us. He don't got the right to say what he say and do what he do, because he did outdo everybody on the stage. When you talk about being smart business wise, like OTB said, right? But it's just how you put certain shit in perspective. You get, like, when you start paying homage too much and you start saying the same thing too many times, you about to say some bullshit. You know what I mean? And without them, they paved the way, for me to be where I'm at. He'll speak a little bit, he'll say it again, but then here we come with the, my smart businesses, and I made smart investments, and I gave the sport 20 plus years of my life, and and which is true, but it's a lot of fighters that gave the sport 20 plus years of their life to get it to where they at. You feel me? And you can't say he revolutionized the game like AI, like Kobe, like Jordan, right? He had revolutionized the game. He took the game out of the promoter's hands and he put it into the fighter's hands. If you're the right fighter and know how to do what you do, right? But at the same time, like OTB said, I gotta ride with you on that one. You still not bigger than the sport itself, because every time we talk, is no other fighter ever be bigger or better than me, because you banking on the goddamn money, man. You banking on what you did with the money wise. But yes, it could be a fight that can come along down the line, Floyd, and be better than your motherfucking ass. And you always said yourself, you're the biggest contradictor in the fucking world. We looking for the fighter to be better than Floyd Mayweather, to break my records. I want these young fighters to break my records. You know what I mean? I hold all the records, but I want these young fighters. But then, no, there never been other fighters to break my records. Never, ever. And then, am I human? I can contradict myself because you know your ass do contradict yourself all the fucking time. And you get caught up in that shit. But for us him making the Hall of Fame, you know, we are everybody knew he was the first battle Hall of Famer. Respect to him. He deserved everything he got. I don't know why the fuck Terence Crawford was up there like he made the Hall of Fame, right? But you know, that's Keon to get to that. But you know, like he deserved everything he got, bro. Everything he got. And you know, not to knock his speech and things of that nature, but you know, he a Michael Jordan arrogant ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Him and Jordan, they in that arrogant ass league. And you know, he ain't gonna change for shit. 45 years of age at that stage, you damn sure ain't changing up. But you know, nothing but respect to him. He is my GOAT, but I am gonna criticize his ass when it's time to criticize him.
Bro, let me tell y'all something. That motherfucker bigger narcissist than fucking Donald Trump. I'm keeping it 100, dog. No, dog, seriously, bro. That go to show you insecurities in a man that has everything. That's what that shows, bro. There's no humility whatsoever, ever. He don't have no humility at all, ever, bro. And he talking about he made smart. No, bitch, you had Al Heyman. That's the motherfucker who's smart. That's who's smart. You had Al Heyman. That's who, him and Jay Prince, the ones who fucking helped you from Jay Prince first, then you know you got with Al Heyman.
Facts. Preach.
Bro, you had smart motherfucking men around you. Now it's a smart thing to get smart people around you. But don't act like you did this shit, nigga. You probably would have fucked off your money and did all kind of stupid shit if you ain't have Al Heyman.
Coach, that motherfucker didn't know how to invest nothing into nothing.
Nothing. That motherfucker ain't know how to invest in a toothbrush. I don't want to hear that.
And still don't know how, Coach. Al Heyman still making the money moves. And this is no knock. I mean, he probably sit down and learn some things, but we know Al Heyman learned from the Black Godfather, and we know that's who pulled the trigger for his ass.
All these motherfucking guys up there humble. You know what I mean? Bro, we know who you are, bitch. God damn, bro. How much you gotta talk about yourself, bro? That's not for you to do. That's for other people to do.
Oh shit.
And that's the only thing get on my nerves. Was he great in the ring? Absolutely. But he just and then what makes it worse is people cater to him like they kiss his ass because he's got money. I ain't never been like that. I don't give a fuck what you got. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what another fucking man got. I could care less, bro. I don't have to flaunt anything that I have. I don't do that. That's because just like, you know what taught me this? Let me tell you. Hurricane Katrina taught me that. That's what taught me that. I had 2 houses I lost in Hurricane Katrina. 2. I just bought one, hadn't even paid a note on it. And I lost my first home. Stuff don't matter in life, bro. That's what people fail to understand. Stuff and all of that shit. But right now I drive around in a regular little car. I'm happy with that. I mean, I got a truck and all that, but I'm talking about, I don't care about that shit. The most important thing is your health and your family and your friends. That's it, bro.
Go ahead, say it, Coach. Guns and butter, young
motherfuckers. Dundada, you my brother. That is not the issue here, bro. No, that is not the issue, fam. There's a lot of our moms and dad that was in fucking prison and mom was on drugs. We not criticizing Mayweather for becoming, we applauding that part of his lifestyle, bro. We're not taking that away. We talking about afterwards. You know, when we be saying, oh, his dad was in prison, his mom was on, listen, that shit was so long ago, fam. It was so, like, he's so far removed from that shit.
And let's also look at the bright side that he.
Hold on. They be so far removed from that shit, bro. To where it's like we be talking about, oh, this and that, those storylines. Nigga been rich forever. Goddamn, even coming up, he was around motherfucking fighters that was rich. Like you said, I was one foot in, one foot out. But I seen the good life to where fighters was coming get me and showing me how to do this. What's up, Rita? Showing me how to do this and showing me the good life and things of that nature, fam. So he's seen that part of life more than anybody, but it's just what you do afterwards, bro. The way you carry yourself. And I'm not saying you don't do good shit in this world and things of that nature, but the side we talking about, you even know that side to where that shit do get annoying as fuck at times, bro.
It's irritating because the whole thing is this, bro. It's not for you to talk about yourself. Now, when you in the sport and you fighting, yeah, I'm the best, and I want to show I'm the best. Nothing wrong with that, right? But all of this other shit, bro, we done heard it a fucking trillion times, nigga. Okay, you had good investments, nigga. You rich. We know you rich. That's great, bro. You don't have to keep talking about that. That's a sign of an insecure person. That's all I'm saying. You don't see, that motherfucker ain't richer than, he ain't richer than no motherfucking Warren Buffett. You don't see Warren Buffett acting like this. He ain't richer than that motherfucker, I can promise you. That motherfucker donated $24 billion to motherfucking the Bill Gates Foundation. You don't see that motherfucker running around, gotta fucking show this and show that, and I'm this and I'm that. Bro, there's a part of humility. Roy got money. Roy don't act like that, bro. I know personally Roy got money. He don't act like that.
Yeah, man.
But Floyd,
like me personally, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, that he put in the work to say whatever the fuck he wanted to say on that podium. But my only thing about it is like I just felt that it was more of an act. A lot of that shit was an act. But you know, if he wanted to get up there and put on a goddamn Emmy award performance act, hey, he did what he did in his career, and we got to respect that. But the only thing is that when you got a lot of fighters, former fighters that was up there on that podium that's not doing so well in life, you know, it's kind of like that you was throwing a lot of that shit in their face. Everybody knows that you made smart investments. Everybody knows that you made $1 billion in your career. Everybody knows all of that, the financial aspect of what you did in your career. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to get up there and throw that shit in everybody's face.
Because like they was getting robbed. You feel they was getting robbed.
Yeah, right. They was getting robbed, and they didn't have Al Heyman around them to teach them the game like that. So my thing is like, yeah, you get up there and you talk about yourself, you talk about what you did in your career and how great you were and all of that. But all of that smart investments and you made $1 billion and you know smart investments this and smart. We heard that shit 1,000,001 times. Everybody on that podium heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I mean, you know, hey, that was him.
Man, to do it in front of them boxers, y'all, was disrespectful. That's disrespectful. You was able to get rich because Don King robbed us. Because boxers was getting robbed out of their money for years, bro. So you was able to make these type of decisions. So your daddy and your uncle getting robbed was able to help you and benefit your business aspect of your career. But you don't get no right to throw that in their face, man.
They ain't the only,
you know, like I said, that was his time, so he could say whatever the fuck he wanted. At the end of the day, that was his time. If he want to say the same shit, you know what I'm saying, every time he get on the podium, every time he's supposed to be promoting one of his fighters' fights, he say the same shit. If that's what he wanted to do, that was his time. I don't think nobody wanted to hear it because we already know this shit. We didn't heard it 1,000,001 times, but hey, it is what it is. He earned, like I said, at the end of the day, he put in, ain't nobody put in more hard work, blood, sweat, and tears than him. And one thing I do got to give him his flowers for is he did change the sport. If it wasn't for Floyd Mayweather, it wouldn't be no blood and urine testing because nobody else was calling for it but him. So, you know, shout out to Floyd. He did his thing, but, you know, he is an annoying motherfucker to hear talk when he say the same shit over and over and over and over, and you know it's coming. I knew it was coming.
Dion, he ain't the first to go independent, bro. He ain't the first.
But Roy was independent, you know what I'm saying?
Roy
before him.
Before all of them. All of them.
Well, they ain't do it like Floyd. So Floyd did it. He went to the.
Ain't like that motherfucker, bro. That motherfucker.
No, he stayed like Keon said. He put like his hard work, the dedication that he put into the sport to stay there fucking focused, to set a goal, right? And he seen the goal and he went and got that motherfucker. That's what you got to commend him on. And because he haven't took a smoke, he haven't took a drink. It doesn't matter what he said outside, how many motherfucking cars he showed, how many watches, how many holes he showed, 40 and all that shit. One thing that motherfucker stuck steadfast to was putting in that motherfucking work and make sure he was ready on Saturday nights when it was time to fight. And I don't think nobody did it better than him in that aspect. And he deserved to say what he say. But like Keon said, that shit gets annoying to where we can quote your ass word for word, because you say that shit so goddamn much, right? We know what's coming. You know what's coming. Like, bitch, you got all that money. Pay somebody else to write you up another fucking speech. God damn.
Oh shit. Hey, you see afterwards when he's walking through the casino, he really got in his bag then. That nigga was really feeling himself then. Hey, Floyd, hey man, Floyd is the real life Ric Flair though.
Like
You know
I
what I'm
can
saying?
get around about him.
He the boxing version of Ric Flair, but he way worse than Ric Flair. Ric Flair was cutting promos. Fucking Floyd, he really liked that shit funny though. Uh, but let's move on, man. Let's move on. And like I said, I'll cook more on the Hall of Fame when I watch the rest of it. I only seen Floyd so far. But let's go into this Terence Crawford shit, man. Terence Bud Crawford, man, he was at the Hall of Fame and they stroked the fuck out of his ego. Terence Bud was loving that shit. Bud had probably the biggest ego in boxing. That motherfucking Bud ego, damn near, you know what I'm saying? If Bud could talk like Floyd Mayweather, Bud would be on that same shit. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker Bud got a huge ass ego. And him being at the Hall of Fame and everybody telling him how great he is and all of that. And then you hear Bud say, "Oh, I don't need Errol Spence." That's cool, bro. If you go in the Hall of Fame, if Bud go in the Hall of Fame, because I know the whole thing is Bud don't need Errol Spence. Bud don't need Errol Spence. Name me one fighter that y'all can think of right off the rip that's in the Hall of Fame that don't have not one classic fight. I'm asking anybody.
Not none.
I was gonna say Rocky Balboa, but he had multiple.
So, and I say that to say this, right? This ain't hating on Bud. My thing is like, you so steadfast as, basically, I don't need nobody. I can go in the Hall of Fame. So you telling me that you don't need a career-defining fight to go into the Hall of Fame? Well, that just lets me know how weak the boxing Hall of Fame is. Let me know, because if we comparing the boxing Hall of Fame to the NBA Hall of Fame or the NFL Hall of Fame, it ain't no comparison at all. It's no comparison at all. Like, yeah, you 38-0. You know what I'm saying? You knocked out everybody at welterweight, but at the end of the day, 20 years from now, what are they gonna remember you by? If he retired today, like he always saying, what are they gonna remember you by? That's all I'm asking. Because for you to sit up here and just be steadfast as, I don't need to do nothing else. I can go in the Hall of Fame. I don't need Errol Spence. Yeah, you do. You might not need him for them to say, okay, yeah, we're gonna induct you to the Hall of Fame. But shit, it's a whole bunch of Rudy Poos that they inducted to the Boxing Hall of Fame. Let's just keep it real. And I'm not saying that he a Rudy Poo, because he's a great fighter, but he don't have that fight on his resume yet. The closest thing to it was Sean Porter. And it took you 38 fights to get that. That's the closest thing to it. So, again, I ask, if he goes, like he's saying, if he retired today, he don't fight Errol Spence and he don't have another fight no more, who are we going to look at, Terence Crawford, 20 years from now when we talk about Terence Crawford, and we're going to be able to talk about that he beat? Like, man, you remember that fight? Like, it's fighters like Terry Norris and Meldrick Taylor, right? I was watching they fight last night. You know what I'm saying? We like them type of throwback fighters. You can always go to a fight, right, that they had. It was like, man, remember when Terry Norris, beat such and such? And remember when Roy Jones, you know what I'm saying, beat the shit out of James Toney? Remember when Andre Ward beat Sergey Kovalev? Remember when Andre Ward beat Chad? Like, you don't have that on his resume. Remember when Floyd Mayweather beat? Like, you don't have that fight on your resume that people are going to remember. 20 years from now. That's what people do. That's how boxing fans and your legacy is defined, right? Now we might remember Terrence, goddamn Sean Porter, daddy hopping on the apron, stopping the fight and shit, throwing the towel in. But other than that, I can't think of nothing else that I will remember him for. Yeah, remember Terence Crawford, man, he was a hell of a fighter. But you ain't gonna remember what hell of a fight he was in or what hell of an opponent that he had. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody is gonna remember him beating Gamboa 20 years from now, Dundada. Nobody gonna give a fuck about Gamboa. How did that victory age? Let's just keep it 100. How did the Gamboa victory age? What did Gamboa go on to do in his career? Nothing. So people need to stop pulling up Gamboa. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Terence Crawford, he has a fucking ego. His ego too goddamn big. Like, when you hear Errol Spence talk, right? And you hear Errol Spence say, when they ask him about the Hall of Fame, he'd be like, nah, I think I still got more to do. That's because that man don't have no huge ego. Everybody got an ego, but you got some people that have an ego that's just too fucking big. And that's Terence Crawford. He was in the right place for his ego this weekend. Like, he was in the right place for motherfuckers, for all the fighters to be around him, stroking his ego and telling him how great he is and telling him that he'll beat Errol Spence. He loved that type of shit. Like that, he get off on that type of shit. But bro, I don't think that he should be steady walking around talking about, oh, I don't need to do this. As a fighter, knowing that you have not fought the best competition, knowing that you ain't fought the best competition, you should be eager to say, you know what? Yeah, that's up to y'all decide if I'm in the Hall of Fame or not, but I still got more that I want to do in my career. But his ego so fucking, I don't need to do nothing else. I'm a Hall of Famer right now. Well, that just lets me know that boxing Hall of Fame standards ain't that fucking high. Because like I said, once again, if boxing Hall of Fame had the same standard as the NFL Hall of Fame, would he be in the Hall of Fame? That's all I'm asking. Because everybody that was a great fighter, I don't look to see if they was in the Hall of Fame. I've never went to see, oh man, let me see if this fighter's in the Hall of Fame because they said no. We remember these fighters by the fights that they had, legacy defining fights in their career. He don't have that fight yet, nor does Errol Spence. But Errol Spence got a better argument than Terence Crawford do. His resume just period is better than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford at 135, we can go through his whole resume. Everybody keep talking about Gamboa. Like I said, how did that shit age? Not well. At 140, who he fought at 140? And what was Ricky Burns? Like, come on, man, them dudes ain't. Them dudes is, ain't nothing.
You fought Ricky Burns at 35.
Yeah, at 35. But Ricky Burns got what, 9 L's on his record? Like, none of that shit sticks out. It ain't his fault. Everybody that was put in front of him, he beat. He did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? But he was over there on Top Rank and he beat everybody that was put in front of him, but it's nothing that nobody is going to go back and look at and just be, man, wow, man. Remember when Terence Crawford fought such and such, man, that was a hell of a fight, man. Like, man, when he beat, you're not going to say that. A lot of them dudes are in the Hall of Fame, got a whole bunch of L's on their records, but some of them are in there for legacy defining fights. Mickey Ward versus motherfucking Arturo Gatti. Are any of them near the level of Terence Crawford? No. But you going to remember that fight. If you don't remember nothing else Mickey Ward or Arturo Gatti did, you going to remember those fights. So, I'm going to pass it to OTB.
All right, let me be specific when I say this. Man, ain't nobody bigger than the sport. Like, yeah, I mean, man, we fans of the sport itself. Like, so We will not be talking about your ass 20 years from now. We gonna be covering the sport still. We'll be fans of the sport, but we will not let nobody glorify your name. Nothing you did was great, and we will let it be known that your ass didn't fight the best of your era. So we don't have a reason to put you in the list of greatness. And it's that's what kind of worried me. If anything worried me in being a Bud fan and approaching this fight with EJ, it's the fact that you still don't possess the humbleness to stay focused on this fight and you like these praises. You understand? And like I always tell people, if you still want to be praised, then shit, you ain't still focused on the work that you gotta put in. So that's kind of what worried me as far as that go. But we know his ego and know he won't be a Hall of Famer right now. Yes, the Boxer Hall of Fame give out trophies. They give out trophies there to participants, you understand? And it ain't so much as about what you do. Like you say, other sports, shit, you wouldn't even be on the list. You couldn't even sit at the table. So based off of what he done did already, he ain't a Hall of Famer to me. Based off of talent, you understand that what I see, I watch, yeah, shit. It ain't a lot of fighters at his weight that I'd say, you understand, can beat him in a fight. But shit, that shit don't mean nothing in 20 years when we covering this shit. So yeah, he gotta fight Errol. Yeah, they need each other. And shit, for this fight to not happen, I hate to say it, man. Ain't neither one of y'all asses gonna be Hall of Famers. Y'all got a lot to achieve if y'all think that y'all cannot make this fight happen and still be Hall of Famers because y'all door ain't getting no wider. Like shit, both of y'all ain't the most active fighters. So shit, I don't know that y'all really got a big window to be letting this shit walk by y'all.
Um, I wouldn't say that Earl is letting the walk by him, things of that nature, right? And let me say this to the cats in the chat, man, because y'all take things so out of fucking context and things go over y'all head so much that y'all don't listen, bro, and y'all just want to criticize everything besides just looking at shit with a third eye, fam. When we're looking at Bud Crawford, right? Nobody is saying that he's not a Hall of Famer. OTB, he's a Hall of Famer. I give him that, right? The criteria of being a Hall of Famer. Terence Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer. 3 division world champion, former undisputed current WBO welterweight world champion. He's still in the game. We don't know what's going on. My whole thing is, if this is a glorifying night, right, for fighters that's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Terence Bud Crawford should not be up on the stage. You understand what I'm saying? He should not be up on the stage, fam. You should be in the audience looking in at everybody else. You shouldn't be putting him up there like he's going into the Hall of Fame in 2022. That's a special moment for the fighters that's going into the Hall of Fame in 2022. You got people up on the fucking stage that was 20 plus years in the fucking game, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see NFL players that's going into the Hall of Fame, you don't see no fucking Aaron Donald up on the stage sitting with them talking about, man, I can't wait till it's my time to go in, fellas. Oh man, thank you so much, LT. Thank you so much. We know you're a future Hall of Famer, but you still an active fucking player. Terence Bud Crawford is an active fighter. Why the fuck do we always talk about the Hall of Fame with him as if he's fit to retire from the fucking sport? Are you thinking about return? Are you 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Is that what you want? You want, oh, I can't wait for it's my turn, to be up here. Like, bro, you still have a lot of fucking fight in you. Like he said, you're not looking at fights talking about, oh, I'm a Hall of Famer, this, that, and the third. Even when Floyd was in the game, he was active. Floyd wasn't talking about, oh, I can't wait till I get up on that stage to be a Hall of Famer. Andre Ward, I can't wait to be a Hall of Famer. Like you don't use that shit to try to put that in position to negotiate because that's all people keep doing. Oh, Bud's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Y'all putting that shit in the point of negotiate and drink more water. Keep talking about, oh, where's the contract? There's no contract. Well, if Errol Spence telling him to sign the contract, of course it ain't no fucking contract because he don't want to sign the motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? So when we're looking at the situation, all this ego stroking and all this bullshit that they doing, they should be telling this motherfucker to make the fight, right? Make the fight happen. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, you'll do this to Errol Spence, you'll do that to Errol Spence, you'll do this to Errol Spence. But Errol Spence in up here telling motherfuckers what's holding up the fight. He haven't signed the contract. You understand? So if this your Hall of Fame legacy defining fight, right? And not only that, kid, he said it out his own mouth, bro. Go to the Andre Ward interview. I haven't felt like I had that Hall of Fame fight yet, right? He know he haven't fought some motherfucker where he felt like it was that fight to where wow, it was outstanding. It's legend, and that this not to take away nothing, because I enjoyed the Yurioka's Gamboa fight. I enjoyed the Ricky Burns fight. I enjoyed the Ndango fight. I enjoyed the Fetus for Dejo, not Fetus for Dejo, sorry, the gold medalist, man. I can't get his damn name right now at 140.
Are those fights that you
I'm
gonna
not,
remember
I'm not
to want
taking
to
that.
talk about 20
No,
years from now?
no, no. I'm just saying I enjoy those fights. I'm not taking that away from him.
No, I'm just asking you. I'm
No,
asking you,
Yeah.
do you think
or
that you gonna want to
no,
sit
Keith,
down with one of your
no,
homeboys and
no,
like,
yo,
man,
no, your little man will be 20 years old in 20 years from now. There's not gonna be a fight where you sitting down saying, "Hey, I want you to go back and watch this fight. This shit was legendary." Like, coach, what fight you give me, coach? And I love that motherfucker. Which I seen it though. Was it Roberto Duran and Iran Barkley? You know what I'm
oh
saying?
man,
Yes.
Go watch
hell
that
of a
fight, Mike
fight.
Brown. I want to
Yeah.
watch that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, like that shit, that type of shit. I get exactly what you're saying. All we saying is
No,
quit
not only
using.
that one, the James Tony and Iran Barkley too.
Man,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
a
a
hell
good
of a
fight.
fight too.
So
Hell of a fight.
yeah, I say that to say quit using the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame is for motherfuckers who are retired from boxing that had a hell of a career. The ride is fucking over with, homie. The ride is over with. Like I said, I'm not mad at him being there, but him being up on stage with all those fighters, man, it just take away from, the work they put in and all the years they waited to get put into the Hall of Fame, bro. When you still an active fucking fighter and you still got big fights out there, you keep running your mouth about Errol Spence and fucking Charlo, but you up here at the motherfucking Hall of Fame up on the stage like you retiring and you like your career is over
He
with,
got his
bro.
hand molded too.
Yeah, bro. Like what the fuck is going on? Like what the fuck? You feel me? That shit just is weird, bro. Like you
See,
said,
but
it's
but to me,
stroking his
go.
fucking ego, bro, to the point to where, and I got y'all to be like, stroking his fucking ego to the point to where it's like, oh yeah, Terence Crawford is one of us, and it's like, yeah, and what you got motherfuckers up there, like I say, everybody up on that stage, they done for in the boxing game. Floyd doing this bitch, they doing this bitch for. We talking about in the real boxing game, it's done for. But you can go pick out a fight from all them motherfuckers that you can say was legendary. You know what I'm saying? Was legendary. He haven't done that yet, bro. And he shouldn't have had his ass up on that stage. And for them picking him to win, I don't have no problem with that shit. It's just how they trying to downgrade Earl Spence. Everybody, oh, go clean up the division. Oh, Earl Spence still has to show me something. How the fuck Earl Spence has to show you something, Roy Jones Jr., when he fought better competition, then turns Bud Crawford, whether you Bud Crawford fanatic Falconites want to believe that shit or not, he fought tougher competition, or if at best the same caliber of competition and is undefeated,
I
right?
agree with that.
Holding 3 titles, made more money, but he has to show you more, but Bud Crawford don't have to show you more. Like that's crazy to me, fam. But yeah, they just ego stroking, man. And I just feel like he shouldn't have had his ass up on that stage. He should have had his ass somewhere negotiating, drink more water to sign a fucking contract to get his legendary fight out there, bro.
And
Go-
I just wanted to say, man, that like to me, man, we got to get out of this accolades make you a Hall of Famer shit, man. Accolades don't make you what you accomplish because boxing has been manipulated. Like, let's not be real. Shit, that's like us saying that Barry Bonds doing steroids, you understand, ain't having no effect on his performance. Like, shit, man, hell nah, man. Your accolades don't make you a Hall of Famer, man. What you give the sport, what you give the fans, and that's what and the fans determine whether you're a Hall of Famer. But nah, hell nah, that don't make you no Hall of Famer because you can fight the worst competition of any other Hall of Famer and have accomplished more than other Hall of Famers. Like hell nah.
I mean, and like I said, man, and Money know this because me and Money used to go back and forth about shit like this all the time. I'm a resume guy. You know what I'm saying? And I followed Terence Crawford whole career. I knew the nigga when he had the motherfucking with musty ass dreads in his head and shit. When then nobody know who he was. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was a huge Bud fan, huge
Yeah,
Bud
me too.
fan, right? So I know everybody he fought. I know it. I know when he didn't have knockout power like that, when he was just boxing motherfuckers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then he got better and better and he started knocking out cats. But like I said, it's nobody none of those fights that I look and I'm like, God damn, man. When Terence Crawford beat such and such, that's how I know this motherfucker was that dude. Everybody else I can say that shit with, that's like, great fighters. Like Roy Jones is hella high on Terence. So I'm gonna just stick to Roy. Since Money was just talking about Roy. He's so high on Terence Crawford, right? But I could go to Roy Jones' career and be like, man, when Roy Jones fought motherfucking James Toney and beat the shit out of James Toney, you know what I'm saying? 10 rounds to 2, 11 rounds to 1, and schooled his ass. That's when I knew Roy was a motherfucker. When Roy Jones fought a young Bernard Hopkins, so we can say that shit. You know what I'm saying? When Floyd Mayweather went and beat Hernandez, you know what I'm saying? We got fights that we can say, okay, that's when I knew that motherfucker was bad. When Evander Holyfield fought the white Kawhi Muhammad, like that, I knew he was bad. He only had fucking 12 fights. Like, so we could go back to those great fights, we don't have that with Terence Crawford. Like I said, the closest thing is with Sean Porter, and he already had been beat by Errol Spence, motherfucking
Cale Brook,
Keith Thurman, Cale Brook, and his daddy stopped the fight. So y'all keep talking about, man, he knocked him out. No, his daddy stopped it.
James Toney fought every fucking body.
Facts.
But I'm just giving examples.
Every fucking body.
Right. I'm just giving examples, and I use Roy because Roy is always, Terence Crawford this, and he's proved this, and he proved that. Roy should know better than that. Like, what legacy defining fight did he have to where you was like, okay, yeah, this motherfucker, bad motherfucker. And like I said, the closest one was his last fight with Sean Porter. But they've been crowning him, sitting him on the throne way before Sean Porter. And my whole thing is, it's about, you can have look at Adrian Broner's accomplishments.
Facts.
He is
better you say it than me.
Division world champion. 4. But who the fuck did he beat for them belts? So stop telling me, oh man, he's a 4 division, he's a 3 division world. It's a lot of motherfucking 3 division world champions. We want to know who the fuck they beat to have those belts. And Dongo don't do it for me, fam. Ricky Burns don't do it for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just Jeff Horn don't do it for me. Just because Jeff Horn had a belt, does that mean Jeff Horn was better than Sean Porter? Because Sean Porter ain't had no belt. So y'all tell me, since y'all always want to talk about his motherfucking accolades and what he did and his accolades this and accolades that. So because he has those accolades, that should mean that motherfucking Ricky Burns, goddamn Julius Ndongo, and goddamn Jeff motherfucking Horn, Ricky Burns, Julius Ndongo, and Jeff Horn, all of those fighters should be better than Sean Porter. If it's about accomplishments, every one of those fighters you telling me should be better than Sean Porter because he got a major accomplishment off of them because he won titles off of them. Sean Porter ain't had no title. So that's what you're telling me. So with that being said, that shows you right there, it matters who you fought. So when you talk about accomplishment, well, then tell me who he beat to have that accomplishment right after that. That's all I'm saying. Stop telling me about his fucking accomplishments. It matters who you fought. Who we gonna remember you by? So yeah, you can be in the Hall of Fame because once again, the boxing Hall of Fame, their criteria to be in the Hall of Fame ain't that fucking high. So yeah, that's what makes him a Hall of Fame because they don't have a very high criteria to be in the boxing Hall of Fame like they do in the NFL Hall of Fame and MLB and other sports. But it doesn't matter. If they put you in the Hall of Fame tomorrow, ain't nobody still gonna remember you 20 years from now from a legacy defining fight that you had because you didn't have one yet. And that's why I fuck with Errol, because Errol, to me, his overall resume is better than Terence Crawford, but he'll still let you know, I ain't no Hall of Famer. I'm not a Hall of Famer. Like, I still got more to do, because in his head, he's not done. He don't have an ego like that. Terence Crawford got a big ass fucking ego, and he love when people stroke that shit.
Well, all I gotta say is the man will be in the Hall of Fame. It just we'll just be disappointed because we didn't get the fight we want. That's it. That's all it is to it. Right now, because he was the first 140 undisputed in the full belt era, that's why he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, we know that, Coach, but I mean, were you impressed?
Huh?
I'm asking.
I mean,
you impressed by him beating Ndongo?
What I'm saying is he fought the champions at that time. I'm not saying
know that.
Well,
Everybody fought champions. Nobody don't know. We know that. I just made that clear. That so are those champions better than Sean Porter?
Of course.
And amongst other 100.
He beat somebody that wasn't even a champion, that was better than all them other fighters that he beat. That's my whole point. Stop telling me about his accomplishments. Oh, my accomplishments. We know.
We don't want.
It's time. How boxing is. That don't mean because you have a title that you fought the fucking best. Just because you have a fucking championship title don't mean that you fought the best.
And that's absolutely true. I agree with you. But the whole thing is this. The only thing I'm saying is that it is what it is. If he feel that way, he'll just be disappointed in himself. I mean, ain't nothing for us to say about it. And he'll be disappointed in himself. Only thing gonna happen, he'll be sitting in this rocking chair one day because Errol gonna keep on accomplishing what Errol wanna accomplish, right? He gonna sit in his rocking chair one day if he don't make this fight. Man, I shoulda. That's on him. He gonna be the one saying I shoulda fought Errol Spence. I shoulda fucking showed I was better than him. But when Errol Spence gonna become undisputed at some point, even if Terence Crawford don't fight him, and if Terence retire right now, he's going to Hall of Fame. That's all fine and well. Whoever get that fucking WBO belt, Errol gonna fight them bitches and become undisputed. And he gonna move on from there and he gonna have a great career. Because he's a dog. Because that's his goals are different. Everybody got their own goals. So he gonna be the one disappointed. We'll be disappointed because we fight fans and we fucking want to see the fucking fight. We want to see the best between these two motherfuckers. Who is the best? Is it Errol? Is it Bud? It's been going on forever.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. But I'm not gonna discredit Bud for what he's done, right? Because that's what people want to hear. Oh, this, that. But it's not that. My thing is, we keep bringing up the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame. Okay, bro, you go into the Hall of Fame when you retire from boxing, right? That's when you go into the Hall of Fame. So why the fuck we keep mentioning Bud's name with HOF, right? Okay, if you done what you done, cool. We know when your time over with, and that moment come, kudos to you. You earned it. You deserved it. That's my whole point, right? Like I said, I'm not mad at who he fought for the titles. He did what he did to become undisputed. His accolades is his accolades. You give him that, right? That's what makes you in boxing, regardless of whatever the situation is. My thing is, now we at a point, right? We at that road now where your ass got the biggest fight of your fucking career. Regardless of what's on your record right now. I don't give a fuck about. That's how I don't give a fuck about the 30 division. We talking about right now where you stand at the welterweight division. We're not talking about 35. We're not talking about 40. We're not talking about none of that shit. Right here at the welterweight division, where you got the biggest fight of your fucking career, a legacy-defining fight. A legacy-defining fight, right? You go out there, you fight this man. This is what we should be focusing on. This is what he should be paying attention to, right? So nobody is knocking Bud for being there at the fucking Hall of Fame, showing love to the fighters. But when you're on the fucking podium in your hand casket and you in that bitch as if you finna go into the Hall of Fame today, right? 2022, right? Then you shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be there, bro. The shit just didn't sit right with me and him being up on the stage with them dudes. If that's the case, then put Sean Porter and Danny Garcia and everybody else up there as well, fam. It just don't sit right to me. Like I say, when you at NFL Hall of Fame, right, and they up on the fucking podium, you don't see future Hall of Famers sitting up on the stage talking about, oh yeah, could you put my trophy up here? So when I go in and motherfucker 2031 or some shit like that, this, that, and that. Nah, you let them people have their moment, bro. Right? You be on the standoff. You can be up on the stage, but you shouldn't be sitting down with them and them doing all that shit. That's my whole thing about the point. Where you still a fighter, and you got the biggest fight of your fucking career out there that we're trying to get made, and you out there and they bringing up Errol Spence, and you saying, oh well, I don't need Errol Spence, right? I did enough. I don't need Errol Spence. I did enough. Like, come on with that shit, bro. How many times you gonna say that shit? You said it multiple times, and now you right back to fucking Errol Spence, bro.
And to me, like, we keep talking about Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. You don't hear Errol Spence and his people or his fans running around talking about, oh man, if Errol retired today, he Hall of Fame, because he could by the criteria of Hall of Fame. Errol's a Hall of Famer too.
Facts.
So and running around screaming about that shit.
All right now. All that
no, he ain't a Hall of Famer right now. Bud is. When he's a unified world champion, then beat all of the world champions, beat guys in their fucking prime. You know what I'm saying? But you telling me that Bud a Hall of Famer?
And for all y'all who think that shit means something, man, he at the end of the list of 140-pound Hall of Famers. I hate to tell y'all. So shit, what you gonna put him above Aaron Pryor?
But so I'm saying that if Bud a Hall of Famer, shit, you know what I'm saying? Whatever criteria they go by, shit. Errol Spence a Hall of Famer too, but ain't nobody running around screaming about it because he doesn't let that shit stroke his ego. He ain't running around telling you that he don't got nothing else left to do in his career and he's already a Hall of Fame if he retired, because his mind ain't focused on that. He's focused on proving that he's the best of the best. Terence Crawford ain't fought the fucking best of the best yet. How the fuck we talking about him being a Hall of Famer?
And that's my thing when I just
got your feet wet fighting the best of the best competition yet, but we talking about Hall of Fame.
Oh, you know what? It might be Cap.
Man, you got to look at the other 140-pound Hall of Famers, man. So that's why I said he's not a Hall of Famer to me. Shit, you look at who Aaron Pryor fought. You look at who Floyd fought. You look at who Pernell fought. Yeah, I mean, let's look. Zab Judah. Let's look at like y'all.
Regardless of
you at the end of the fucking list, he at the end of the. You better sit at the end of the table.
I'm only thing I'm gonna tell you.
No, I disagree. He don't have to sit at the end of the table. He's a 3-division world champion. He's a former undisputed. He's the current WO welterweight world champion. Regardless if y'all saying we don't like who he fought or this, that, and the third, he's still a Hall of Fame fighter. I'm not taking that away from him. He get that from Monty Brown. First ballot, hands down, right? He beat who he beat. He became the champion. They were the champions at that time when he fought. We can't discredit that. My whole thing is just, and man, keep go back and forth about all this shit all the time with Adrian Brown and all this shit. But my thing is your ass being there right now, sitting on the fucking podium with Hall of Famers that's 30, 40. You know what I'm saying? There's years to go by for them to get in. Like you going into the Hall of Fame as if your career is over with, right? But you got your defining fight sitting right there, right? Defining fight. Let that sink in y'all head. Defining fight. And y'all ass can go out there and put it on the line, and you can become motherfucker. And that right there, 2-time undisputed, you beat Earl the True Spence Jr., taking all them fucking straps, bro. It's no question. No question. And guess what? Keon come back and say, you know what? That's a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? That's the shit that you have people on this side gonna think this way. You have people on this side gonna think that way. But at the end of the day, you're right there in a position to make that shit happen. And you still talking about money. You ain't signed a goddamn contract. You got people in here like drink more water, talk about it ain't no contract. Okay, we know when there's negotiation, right? You put everything in negotiation in the contract. But it shouldn't take this long if it's something you've been wanting for so goddamn long, and now it's finally right here for you to do, right? The money they say you got the money, or you saying that, oh well, you ain't overpricing yourself, then what the fuck is it, fam? What is it? You know what I'm saying? This shit should be on the road.
Well, let me say this. If we so steadfast on he's a Hall of Famer because of his accomplishments, right? Well, then Adrian Brunner's a Hall of Famer. Adrian Brunner beat the champions.
How many times I told you
Huh?
How many times I told you that Adrian Broner was a Hall of Famer?
Well, Adrian Broner's a Hall of Famer. So when we going back to the point that I made earlier,
Adrian Broner is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're gonna go back to the point I made earlier. The criteria for being in the boxing Hall of Fame ain't that fucking high. So we can move on. So I mean, so what does that mean? That means everything to him. The criteria ain't that fucking high. It ain't like the NFL. It is okay. Let me ask you this, Money. You a huge NFL fan.
Facts.
Can the criteria to be in the NFL Hall of Famer compare to boxing Hall of Fame?
Nowhere near.
Or NBA Hall of Fame?
But I'm gonna say this: the accolades are what put you in.
Well, motherfucking goddamn BJ Armstrong, he ain't in the goddamn Hall of Fame in the NBA.
Neither is Robert Horry.
No. I'm not.
Neither is Robert Horry.
They multi-champions.
What I'm saying is
they beat the champions to become champions.
The criteria is what puts you in. So I'm saying, is you asking me, is the boxing criteria more stronger than the NBA, the NFL? No, I will agree with you on that. No, but boxing is boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's their criteria. Their criteria are accolades. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so I understand what you're saying.
We can't change that. That's something we can't change.
Understand that, right? And I'm not arguing about that. But I'm saying, why are you just so satisfied with that? Like you just, I'm a Hall of Fame. Well, okay, the criteria ain't that fucking tough. You know what I'm saying? If we got Mickey Ward in the Hall of Fame, the criteria is not on the level of the NBA criteria. So why are you so what I'm trying to say is he is going about it what he's saying, right? I'm already in the Hall of Fame. I don't need Errol Spence. Right. It's kind of like the way he's
satisfied with it. He's satisfied.
He's satisfied. I'm above him, or I'm above these other fighters. I'm already in the Hall of Fame. I don't need nothing else. Yeah, you do.
Yes, because you won't be spoken in the upper echelon of those fighters at that weight class. You can't mention him with none of them, with Pernell, with goddamn it, Floyd, with shit, not even Eric Morales or no other Alexis Aguelo, Aaron Pryor, shit.
Yeah, I get you saying.
How many times? Hey, okay, let me ask y'all, right? Let me ask y'all this: how many times have somebody just told y'all about a fighter that you weren't really up on? You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker was bad. And then when they told you about that fighter, right? I'm gonna answer this shit truthfully. Somebody tell you about a fighter man, you need to go check out such and such, man. He was a bad motherfucker in his day, okay? And you say, okay, how many times do you automatically go and check before you go look for a fight, you just go straight to check to see if they're in the Hall of Fame? How many times have you ever done that in your life?
None.
Zero.
None. I've never done that before. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to pull up they best fights that they was in. I ain't going to the
first thing gonna pull up. The first thing gonna pull up is they box red. Let them see what this motherfucking record looking like.
Fact.
And you go look,
and then you gonna go down. Yep, you gonna go down the record
and see who they fought.
See if you see a name that you know on that motherfucker.
Yeah, a name that you know. A name that you know who they fought. You ain't going to the fucking Hall of Fame to see if they're in the Hall of Fame. That shit they ain't even crossing your mind.
Right.
Like I say, I get exactly what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not saying you wrong from your boxing standpoint of how you look at the fight game, right? We go back this shit all the time, right? I always say I'm a skill level man. I'm an eye test man. I can look at the skill level and see a bad motherfucker, which we all can do that as well, right? So when we look at Terence Crawford, right, it's not saying that his Hall of Fame run is not deserving. Everybody out there, right? All we're saying is you have fights now to really solidify that shit, to really put a stamp on that shit. To where even if you got people like Keon and OTB saying, you know what, we got to look at his resume to see what he's doing. Now he's in a position to where he can knock that off. You don't have to say, well, who he fought? Because motherfucker gonna say, that nigga fought Errol Spence in the motherfucking classic. That I'm going to tell my boy when he get up there, if that's what he want to do, hey, go look at that fight. Like Coach told me, Monty, go look at motherfucking Iran Barkley and Roberto Duran, which I know about it, right? But I still went back and watched it, right? And bam, you see what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, coach, that motherfucker was legendary to where you telling the next motherfucker, hey, nigga, go watch Roberto Duran and Iran Boy. Because I actually told that to a female to go check that motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it be shit like that be those certain fights that put you in that moment of where were you when that fight happened? You know what I'm saying? Do you remember where you was? And I'm quite sure Coach can say, man, when that motherfucker Iran Barkley and Roberto Duran was fighting, I was at my partner house. That shit was lit. It put you. It's a moment set. You feel me? That shit is history. So that's all Keon saying. Put yourself in one of them fight because we haven't seen Bud on the big ass stage of pay per view saying this is his biggest fight of his career. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, he fought Julius and Dongo, and I give him Dongo all credit. Man, me and the Dongo good fucking friends. I talked to the man, things of that nature, right? He's in the history books forever as a unified champion and how he did his shit, right? He made his own history by going to Russia, knocking out a motherfucker to become a champion.
He went to UK.
He went to Russia first. Then he went to Scotland and outboxed Ricky Burns in his backyard. Then he came over to America and fought Terence Crawford. So he was a little road warrior. He did what he tried to do to be great. And Bud went and stopped his ass, did what he did to become undisputed. But it's not oh my God, where was you when Terence Crawford fought Julius and Dongo? The motherfucking Namibian mob, you know what I'm saying? You don't get that. But we will get where was you when Bud Crawford fought motherfucking Earl the True Spence Jr. I bet you that one. You know what I'm saying? So it just be shit like that, fam, that put you in that position, man. And it's like
win, lose, or draw. Even if he go and he have a tough ass fucking just classic fight against Errol Spence, now you still had that legacy defining fight that we're gonna remember 20, 30, 40 years from now. Win, lose, or draw.
Thanks.
That's all I'm saying.
It's like you got another class.
Let me read. Coach, I'm gonna let you cook. Let me read Zenith 360 real quick. He says Spence the third or fourth longest reigning welterweight, which is the glory division. Tito number 1. Spence going to the Hall of Fame. Title defenses matter. Half these weight divisions didn't exist for most of the Hall of Fame history. And salute to Zenith. Like I said, man, if Bud is Hall of Fame, Spence is too. But why we shouldn't even he shouldn't even be going around doing interviews talking about I don't need Errol Spence, I'm Hall of Fame. I go in the Hall of Fame today. Like why? Why do you even have that shit on your mind when you know that you ain't put in the legacy defining fight, put in that you're not finished?
And because we're disrespecting the history.
To be honest with you, you going into the Hall of Fame ain't making you no bigger right now in this fight game, bro. You feel me? Like, oh, Bud's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's going into Hall. He don't need. Well, it's not showing the numbers, right? It's not forcing motherfuckers to get in line and fight you. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not knocking him doing that. That's the situation, and that's my whole thing with y'all when y'all be talking about, well, this why he deserve this and this why he deserve that. No, man, you're going into the Hall of Fame. Kudos to you, fam. But you're still an active fucking fighter. And guess what? You still have work to do. You're not done, bro. Your run is not over. What it say? You're watching motherfucking Game of Thrones. Your watch is not over, right? Or if so, go ahead and retire and go put your ass in the Hall of Fame. If that's the only thing you can talk about and bring up every time somebody bring up Errol Smith's name, he's a Hall of Famer. Oh, Earl ain't no Hall of Famer. Now you got motherfuckers out here like motherfucking Drico. I can't wait to see Drico motherfucking ass who hating so hard on Errol Spence now. Oh, when Earl fight Bud, oh, he's just gonna be so slow, and you know, Bud gonna be so relaxed. And now y'all got all these motherfucking game plans of how the fight gonna turn out, and this, that, and the third. So, you know, man, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But this is his legacy defining fight. This is his fucking biggest fight of his career of where he can make a fucking legendary moment if he go out there and win, right? And he gotta want that shit, fam. You did all that. Oh, where's Errol Spence, the big fish, this, that, and the third. Now you finally got the opportunity now. Errol Spence is on your ass. He's telling you to sign a fucking contract, right? And you over here at the motherfucking Hall of Fame getting your fucking hand cast and all this type of shit. Like,
man, rest in peace, Sweet Pea, man. Sit his ass at the table with Sweet Pea. Let Sweet Pea tell him about all the fighters, how he fought Oscar, Trinidad. Man, come on. Hell nah. That's what's crazy to me. We at the Hall of Fame dinner where everybody else who there sitting across the table as somebody that they shared that ring with. Except your ass.
And you talking about, well, shit, I fought Jeff Horn.
Fuck out of here.
I fought
disrespect the sport like that.
Y'all don't remember Julius and Dungo and Jeff Horn? Come on, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all another good fight. James Toney and what's that dude name was Jancic or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the white dude in the cruiserweight.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. That was a hell of a fight too. James Toney was on that shit though.
Boy, I don't know what the fuck. Them I know one thing. Them motherfuckers were dealing. Toney's skills, bro. James Toney had some fucking skills.
Oh, yeah,
man, one of the most talented boxers. You understand? Pure talent, man.
I fighting and you can't hit him.
Top 5 in the pocket fighter ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell people all the time that the fight that made me a huge boxing fan when I was a kid, the first fight that I could really remember, like really watching and getting into like that, was Holyfield versus Dwight Muhammad Ali in 1986. That's what I was like, okay, yeah, I got to do this. When I saw that as a kid, I was like, yeah, I got to do this shit. And Holyfield only had Dwight Muhammad Ali was a killer. Like, you know what I'm saying? And Holyfield only had like 11 fights at the time.
That's him, Vasily Jirov.
Vasily Jirov.
But that was a hell of a fight, boy. Them boys was fucking dealing up.
They was going at it. That was in the mid
Tony had to break that motherfucker though, boy. He had to break him. Cause them motherfuckers that boy was fucking fighting, boy. He had to break him. Them motherfuckers was dealing, bro. Man.
That's all I'm saying, coach, is you remember fighters by what fights they had. You don't remember you don't remember fighters by, oh man, he was he had these accolades. We don't remember that. We remember accolades by who they beat.
Shit, you could look at fucking you could look at some of Julio Cesar Chavez fights, and I ain't even like him back then. Him and Edwin Rosario and all that. Fuck, boy.
Fucking how he knocked out how he knocked out got the Black Mamba in what 2 rounds, and you know.
Well, they fought more than one time.
Yeah, but
shit, man, I'm talking about classic fights where you see motherfuckers, you know, fucking Michael Nunn was tearing James Toney ass up. One
Gerald
one shot gone. Hey, you know, my partner was locked up. One of my best partners, he was locked up with Michael Nunn. He said Michael Nunn was the most humble dude. He said he didn't, because he didn't even know who Mike. He called me right when he was in the pen. I'm talking to him. He said, "Man, I'm in here with this dude." He said he used to be we found out because he had been in there with him for a couple years and didn't know he was a fighter. And he was like, "Man, you know who Michael Nunn is?" I said, "Man, hell yeah, Michael Nunn." Man, what?
That motherfucker.
And I started telling him, and he was shocked because Michael Nunn, he wasn't on that type of shit, you know.
Yeah, I bet you with him though, he'd have fucked them niggas up in there.
Yeah.
I tell you that motherfucker had some hands, boy. That left-handed motherfucker was smooth as butter. He was winning too. James Toney popped the fuck out of him, boy. But you know it was a good fight too. Fucking Simon Brown and
my pops used to love him some Simon Brown, bro. That was my pops, one of his dudes.
Brown fought his partner. Oh man, them niggas was best friends, and he knocked him out. Boy, them boys was fucking dead. Man, they was both champions too. Goddamn it, I can't remember the name of that dude. But I done saw some fucking classic fucking wars, bro.
Man, I'm a boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a boxing historian. Like all that old shit, man. I can sit and talk about, man.
Oh, Salvatore. I saw it done died. Salvatore Sanchez. But you talking about the Mexican style? That was a boxing motherfucker, boy. Salvatore Sanchez was fucking a boxing motherfucker, boy. That
you ain't lying. And had good feet.
That motherfucker had good hands, good feet, could punch, was tough as fucking nails. Shit, that motherfucker could fucking fight, partner. What? Yeah. Salvatore Sanchez, one of my favorite fighters, bro. That's one of my favorite fighters, bro.
Man, one of my favorite fights is Aaron Pryor versus Alexis
Aguero.
Yep. Aguero. Aaron Pryor versus Alexis Aguero. If y'all ain't seen that fight, man,
boy, that's something that that's one of them fights that define the sport of boxing.
Bro, that motherfucker Aaron Pryor was like a fucking chihuahua, boy. That little motherfucker bite the shit out. He don't stop. That motherfucker would not stop throwing punches. But I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to see him and Sugar Ray fight so bad, bro.
Sugar Ray was ducking him.
Who you telling? Talk that shit, Key.
Sugar
Ray
talk that shit.
Bro.
Blocker. That's exactly what it was. Them motherfucker was dealing. Bro, I just saw some. Bro, we don't get fights like that no more.
Man.
We don't get fights like that no more. We really do not get fights where you see a backwards and forwards. Motherfuckers is getting it in. I'm not saying, you know, you didn't. They had skills. It's just they fought the best. The best fighters fought the best, and it brought out the best in each one of them. Win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, man, they were going 15 rounds.
Yeah,
remember Aaron Pryor got him up out of there in the 14th
round. Yep.
Yeah,
he beat
Alexis. Man.
Bro, let me tell you something. That fucking
these fighters ain't built like that no more.
Fuck no.
Aaron Pryor was an animal.
I think Errol Spence, he built like that though.
Yeah,
I agree with y'all there.
Benavidez built like that.
He a throwback. Yeah, certain fighters throwbacks.
He a fighter like that. What's his name? Shit. I was just saying it. Oh, I used to like Carlos Monzon too. That was a crazy motherfucker right there, buddy. That was a fight, motherfucker. And one of my trainers,
yeah, Carlos Monzon was a motherfucker, man. He could fight, bro.
One of my
tough.
One of my trainers fought him in his 61st fight or some shit like that. Tony Licata. That was a good fight, but he stopped Tony in that fight.
Hagler versus Mugabe. Man, it's just great fight that.
The classic though. I feel bad for Gerald McClellan, but that
hey, I was just about to say Gerald McClellan too.
And Nigel Benn, boy, that was a fucking
war. That shit was a war. Talking about a war.
Boy, that motherfucker Gerald McClellan was a bad motherfucker, boy.
Man,
yeah, he was a bad fucking dude, bro. Them dudes fucking dealing, boy.
Man, McClellan was one of the highest ring IQs that you will ever see in boxing.
And could crack.
Yeah. Benavidez built like that, 15 round, Jermell Charlo, you know, but it's very few throwback fighters nowadays. You know, Benavidez, he definitely won. Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence.
Bro, these dudes was deep.
I would give it to Terence Crawford. I give it to Terence Crawford because
Bud a throwback.
Yeah, Bud a throwback because he just got that dog in him. You know what I'm saying?
No,
very few.
No, Dundada, you got to take that off of that. He is not a throwback.
No, he definitely not. Now, I would, and I'm a big Lomachenko fan, but no.
Because if he was a throwback, I'm gonna tell you what
he don't give me them 15 round war vibes.
Started 7 rounds into the fucking fight. If he was a throwback with Teal, it wouldn't have started 7 rounds into the fucking fight.
I say Tank though. Tank a throwback.
I don't know yet.
Triple G ain't competing in no goddamn. Get your ass up out of here, Dundada. Talking about
Triple G.
Yeah, I can't. Right.
First of all,
I can't say Tank.
Got in the fucking ring with him because he a fucking coward. He wouldn't have fought none of them brothers that we talking about.
None of
them. Proving it right now, he don't fight number fucking over the hill motherfucking black dudes or black dudes that's not that fucking good. Or he
did it his whole career.
That motherfucker been avoiding the top competition since he been, and they built that motherfucker up with fucking poo ass fighters, and he still ain't gotten there with fucking Jermell Charlo yet. He keep fighting all these other motherfuckers. Now he going to fight Canelo again to get a fucking payday and get out of the fucking sport. So you can't even come. He ain't fought no classic fights, none, because he ain't fought nobody that wanted to fight him, none. Motherfucker gonna put fucking Longman.
I told you, man, I was watching. I had to go back and watch Terry Norris and Meldrick Taylor, man. Terry Norris, man, Meldrick Taylor came out strong, man. Terry Norris beat the dog shit out of Meldrick Taylor, man.
Yeah,
he hit Meldrick Taylor with some shit, bro.
I remember when fucking Julian Jackson knocked his ass smooth the fuck out.
Yep. Knocked his ass clean out and walked off.
Clean out. That was before Meldrick Taylor fight. That was before the Meldrick Taylor fight.
And the Jared McClellan, Julian Williams fight.
You know, Frankie Randall versus Julio Cesar Chavez when he beat Chavez. Man, Frankie Randall was a motherfucker. He just couldn't get off that dope.
Man, Frankie Randall was tough. Goddamn,
couldn't
one
get
of
off
the
that
toughest.
No, big.
Damn sure one of the toughest motherfuckers in boxing, boy. Cause
Yeah, man.
he took some shit in that Chavez fight.
Man.
No.
He to me, he beat Chavez the second time too. They robbed him though. Frankie Randall
Yeah,
beat Chavez that second fight and they robbed him though.
I
They
agree
gonna
with you
rob him.
there.
I love
I
you.
knew they were gonna rob him. They tried to rob him the
But-
first fight, but he just damn near beat him every round. They couldn't rob him.
Oh, Julian Jackson went in the Hall of Fame this weekend too.
Yeah, Julian Jackson. Yep, he
He
sure
should've
did go in the Hall of
He
Fame.
deserve it.
Look out for him to get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he deserved it. Only thing with Julian Jackson, that motherfucker could crack, but if you hit him, he was going to sleep.
Yeah, but that wasn't. Man,
And-
I ain't gonna say that, bro. Y'all see people say that, and that's not true. Because he got knocked out against who it was knocked him out the first time.
Julian Jackson didn't have no
McClellan.
chin like that, coach. He could fight, but he ain't had no chin.
Man, that's not true, bro.
It is true.
It's not true. That's not true.
Man, I watched Julian Jackson's whole career. He didn't have no chin like that.
Man, you was a little boy when Julian Jackson was
I
fighting.
don't give a fuck if I was goddamn.
Shit, the facts is the facts, coach.
And look who fucking cracked him. What you talking about? One of the hardest fucking punches that fucking middleweight, man. That motherfucking Jerry McClellan can fucking crack, bro. That motherfucker can fucking crack, bro. Y'all don't know what the fuck. He got hit by a bad, hard-hitting motherfucker. That
Man,
bad, bro. Bro, if that wouldn't happen to
Julian Jackson got knocked out 6 times. I think he like 6 times. He like I said, he did. If he got hit like that, if you could crack, you could put him to sleep.
Yeah, name the people.
Who he got knocked out by? Gerald McCullough knocked him out
yep, Gerald McClellan was first.
twice. You know what I'm saying? Who else?
Pure boxers. Anthony Jones.
I'm not talking about it at the end of this. I'm talking about
Phillips. Verno Phillips knocked him out. Who else knocked him out?
I just know about the McClellan too.
He got knocked out by Quincy Taylor knocked him out. I don't know who else, man, but I know he got a lot of KO losses on his record.
Yeah, he knocked a lot. That motherfucker gave him out, and he took him and gave him out.
I just said that, coach.
Yeah, we gave him his props.
There, but if you can crack, you put his ass to sleep too.
If you hit him.
Yeah, I just said that.
His weight transition started getting. They started timing his weight transition with him loading up for them punches.
Yeah, but that motherfucker
putting his ass to bed.
Boy, who the fuck?
Don't tell me I ain't watched fucking Julian Jackson whole career. Man, I watched his whole career. That was one of my favorite fighters.
Did he knock Simon Brown ass to sleep too?
I watched all his fights because of his power, boy. When you see him knock
Julian
one
Jackson,
person
man,
out, you gonna go look at the rest of his fights.
If he touched you, you was going to sleep.
That was Simon.
Night.
He hit Simon Brown. Simon Brown was asleep, still throwing punches.
Yeah.
Yep.
Famous, boy. That motherfucker was asleep on the ground.
And was still throwing fucking jabs while he was. Boy,
that's classic, man. That's classic, man.
Boy, that shit is classic for real. Shit. Man, bro. Man, we had some good fucking dudes who fought each other, bro. That's the problem. That's why I get so frustrated nowadays with boxing, bro. Cause we don't get with man back in the day, bro. Especially you'll see that motherfucker jump off that ski lift and fuck himself up and Wide World of Sports, and then boxing coming on Saturdays, boy. Shit, you happy as a motherfucker.
And see, that's the thing. The platform was different. You know what I mean? So y'all grew up with being able to see and know these boxers, you understand? Because it was there every Saturday. You feel me? So shit.
Yeah,
remember,
man.
you even had USA boxing. Remember USA boxing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you talking about Tuesday night fights with Sean O'Grady and them.
Man. USA.
That's what Floyd,
I remember USA boxing with motherfucking Roy Jones, young Roy Jones. He hopped in the ring when he first called out James Toney. He hopped in the ring and got on that microphone, started talking that cash shit. Man.
Yeah, that was classic too.
USA Boxing has some classic fights on there.
The agony of defeat. Yep. Absolutely. The agony of defeat when that motherfucker go up that ski lift and fuck himself up, boy.
Yeah, man. But man, we finna get ready to wrap it up, man. Another great show. Love talking boxing with y'all, man. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all smash on the like button if y'all ain't hit the like button. Coach, man, before we get up out of here, I know you got your channel starting soon, man.
The queen, hold on, I'm about to cut the camera on. I'm gonna cut the camera on. Look at the queen in the studio doing it. What, check it out. She getting it all together right now.
Let me see what y'all got cooking up. Uh-oh.
Okay then, hey, queen.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, it's a little slow. I got the mic and all that. Now I'm just trying to connect StreamYard, get the RTMP so that I can connect StreamYard to YouTube, and so.
Yeah, let me know if y'all need any help.
Oh yeah, Key, you already know I got you on speed dial, my brother.
Yep, I got you. So y'all got the camera and everything already?
Yeah, I'm working on the camera right now to get that 1080p quality.
You only need, I mean, it's the 720. That shit cool. That's enough.
Yeah,
so it don't matter. 80 20, 1080p, 720, 3550. Don't matter to me.
Yeah, so 720 good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
So then, I'm gonna try to set up his background, his virtual background, so that you can see the logo that I designed for him.
Okay, nice.
Then.
Y'all gotta let me know. Like I said, week or two in advance when y'all gonna go on. That way we can pin it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll probably call you this weekend to kind of just really, because I have to, I got to teach him how to do it, but I have to first understand it in totality myself.
Yeah. Y'all finna, I can't wait. Y'all gonna be on there cooking.
I can't wait, man. Definitely can't wait to see that.
Y'all finna start a new trend.
Hey, man. It was your idea, my brother. You get all the credit.
Ah, man, y'all finna put in work, man. People gonna love it. People gonna love it. Facts. So Coach got his show coming up, so everybody be, stay tuned for that. Coach and the Queen, Glove Up Boxing is coming soon. OTB, man, let us know.
Oh man, we got some. Hey, get the OTB boxing class, man. We about to hit 500 subscribers. 28 watch hours, so we about to kick it in this week, man. I got some special treats coming, man. I should have Bread Man stepping through. I know my guy from Ohio Run Boxing gonna be coming through. We got Loyal to the Game Monday and Fridays. We gonna be on Loyal to the Game. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we gonna definitely check in, man, with the show. We got some show times coming. We working, man. I definitely looking forward to this week. It's gonna be a big week for OTB Boxing Class 101, man.
Yeah, y'all make sure that y'all go sub to OTB Boxing Class 101.
OTB?
What'd you say, Coach?
Y'all going on tonight?
Yeah. He say we cooking tonight, so we be on Drake back. Had a good show last week, man. Definitely cooked.
I gotta get up on the panel and get on Drake ass, man.
Yeah, he ducked smoke. He always talk about Errol Spence ducking. He ducked.
Man, y'all know Drake, man. Drake only gonna come around when it's a forest fire, man. That he's starting. Shit, you don't see Drake till he start a forest fire.
He can start a forest fire. He ducked some smoke though. I know that.
Yeah, start a forest fire, then turn into Smokey the Bear. I gotta deal with these flames, man. This shit crazy.
I'll be wanting to, man. I'll be like in the middle of doing shit at the time. I'll be wanting to get on that panel and get on Drake ass so bad.
Hey, we gonna come on. What time y'all going on? OTB?
Yeah, we gonna go on at 9. We on at 9 Eastern time.
Eastern?
Okay. So
9 Eastern time.
Yeah,
man.
we all come fuck with y'all, man.
Yeah, come fuck with us, man. It's gonna be a good show tonight.
All right, bro.
Because Kwame in rare form. I gotta give it to Kwame, man. Shout out to my co-host Kwame East, man. Y'all get over to Loyal to the Game Boxing Talk, man. We've been chopping it up. We got some things coming, man. Kwame cooking over there.
Yes, sir. Man, 817, man, he in the building hella late. What's happening with him? But yeah,
Salute,
man, we up
817.
out of here. Y'all hit the like button.
Devil, boy. You didn't hear me just bring the devil?
Huh?
I just brought the devil in here.
Oh, you did? I ain't even catch that.
I said somebody died some smoke. We was talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and Key, man, you know what I mean? You done birthed a few networks. We appreciate what you give to the sport of boxing, bro. Gotta say, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love, man. But yeah, man, y'all hit the like button if y'all ain't hit the like button. And yeah, you OTB Boxing Class 101 will be over at Lord to the Game Boxing Talk. So make sure that y'all go check that out. Lord to the Game Boxing Talk at 9 Eastern time tonight. And another hell of a show. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And y'all already know how I do. Y'all hit that like button as you go out. And there you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all.